Uh-oh, we're live.
What's up, everybody? We are here at Analog Archives with my guest Geoff from Gas Masks and Hand Grenades and Sector.
What's
We are
up?
doing a top 20 heavy metal songs.
It's a top 20, but I've already filed a complaint with YouTube on this. To the powers that be, I've complained that 20 is not nearly enough, so I've done 50. Just saying I'm just warning you. That's all.
Jeff's got some extra.
A few extras, just a few.
Honorable mentions, 25 honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions that go on forever, exactly. What's up, dudes?
What's up? All right, so we're going to try to do basically a top 20. I picked 20, but the thing is, I picked a lot of extras. I'm sure you did too, right, Geoff?
I'm not lying. I got 50. I'm not lying.
Yeah, we all got a couple extras on our list, that's for sure.
So,
I tried to keep it down to 20, but I got 20 right here. So we got my top 20, and then I'm just going to say everything else is an honorable mention. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure that I can do it that way. And the reason I say that is because I was bringing bands in as I was thinking of them and throwing down. And then when I got to looking today at my list, I'm like, fuck, I can't make any head nor tails out of this. So what I'll do is, well, here's the thing. Here's a big question to lead off with, though.
Yeah.
How about we lead off with the question, what exactly is metal? Because
I'm thinking of like traditional heavy metal, like close to new wave of British heavy metal, but it doesn't have to be British. You know what I mean?
Right. So
like
sure.
Style.
So for example, does a band like Sabbath qualify as being heavy metal?
Absolutely.
Of course they do, right?
Sabbath are the originators.
Okay. So what about a band like Rush? Are they metal?
I mean, it's on the borderline, Rush, because it's heavy, but it's like hard rock. It's like classic rock, but it's heavier than classic rock. You know what I mean? It's hard rock.
Here's how I look at it. If it's got distorted guitars, it's probably bordering on metal versus not. So,
right,
for example,
Rush
yes,
is definitely straight on the borderline. You know what I mean? That could be considered either or, hard rock, heavy metal.
Yeah. For example, like a band like Yes or Genesis, they're not really a metal band. They don't have that vibe, right?
Rock band,
right? But Led Zeppelin could go either way, right? They've got some metallic.
Certain albums could, for sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was looking at. So my list is primarily made up of 4 decades: 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I don't really have anything. I don't think I have anything in the 2010, 2020 range at all.
I'm surprised you even got stuff from 2000s.
Yeah, I do. I have like 3 or 4. Yep. And I got a lot of stuff from the 70s, a lot of stuff from the 80s, a good bit, a fair bit from the 90s. Not a lot. But if we take my whole 50, so if I start picking and choosing through my list, I'm going to get totally fucking confused. So I'm just going to go down. What my first 20 are doesn't necessarily mean they're my tops. I hate to do that to you. But what I could maybe do is say, as I go through and pick one, I can go, yeah, that one probably is in the top 20 right there.
Yeah.
How's that work?
That's fine. You do what you got to do, man.
Okay, cool.
All right. So let's get started. We'll go with Geoff first because he's our guest. So,
all right,
it'd only be right.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I kind of goofed on my own directive with my own guess. I kind of fucked up. It didn't dawn on me until I sat down here. It's like, oh shit, I didn't pull any of these albums. And as many people that maybe know me know closely, I have about 4,000 CDs, but they're in about 37 or 38 boxes throughout my apartment because I can't put them up. I don't have the space for it.
Right.
So to actually go hunting all this shit, I may have found like maybe 10 or 15 in today. It would have taken me way too much time to do it. So what I'll do is I'll show a picture of the album. Some of these I know for a good bit. Dennis probably owns 80% of what I have. I'm sure we have a lot of similar likes, particularly with the older stuff. So, but I'm not going to make him go get it. We'll just show it off the computer. So my first pick It's actually a tandem, and the reason it's a tandem, which is cheating a little bit, is because one is an intro into the actual track.
That's fair.
And the track is From the Moon and Forever from Y&T.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Actually almost made my list.
Dude, this song absolutely fucking rules. That beginning, that down, 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 and that's oh man. And Dave Menicati, however you pronounce his name, Menichetti. That dude's voice, man, one of the most underrated guitar players, songwriters, and singers, man. Fucking, and I'll tell you, this album, this is my favorite one of theirs because it's got like Winds of Change, and it's got Black Tiger. Man, Black Tiger was right there too. I'm like, do I not say Black Tiger? But Forever is the tune off this album.
Yeah, that's the one for sure.
So for me, I'd say Mean Streak off the one with the Cobra on
That's a great one too. Love that album. Love that track. But that's the album for me, dude. It was my first time here in Y&T with my buddy. In fact, I remember exactly where we were, man. I was probably 19, so I'm probably younger than you. And I'm working my first like real job, summer job, driving a tow motor. And we went out and we might have smoked a little bud, just a little bit. We went in, we're driving our tow motors around, and my buddy throws that tape in, and I hear Black Tiger. I'm like, what the fuck? And this is during the era when, Melissa and lots of other bands you're going to hear in my list are coming up. So we'll talk about that. That's the first time I heard that album, and
hell yeah, man.
Oh,
there you go. Number one.
I actually have that one, so.
Of course you do.
I did pull it.
Is that in your list?
It was going to be. There might be a different song, but we'll see.
Cool.
There is
love that album,
but it doesn't really make my list. All right, Damien, what's your number one pick?
My number one pick, Dio, Holy Diver. Gotta have to go with Holy Diver. I mean, it is probably the most overplayed song by Dio, but I could always listen to that song. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Something that really got me into metal when I first started listening to it. Anything by Dio is pretty dope, honestly. I mean, I even love the Sabbath with Dio. Don't have any of that on my list, but honestly, anything with Dio rips. I have
a Dio track coming up. I have a Dio track. Not the one you chose. Not the one you chose, though.
Yeah, Dio kind of has to be on the list. It doesn't really, I mean, the song is give or take, you know what I mean? I like all Dio stuff, but Holy Diver, that's the one that I heard first, stuck with me forever, could always listen to it. The video's fucking hilarious, man.
And what says heavy metal vocals better than Ronnie James Dio? Like, who is better? Who?
Right. It's a hard question. Bruce Dickinson up there.
He's up there, and Rob Halford. But I mean,
Rob Halford.
Dio is kind of the metal vocalist when I think of metal. He's the guy.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna go with my number one pick. This is probably maybe a little bit obscure. I don't know.
Oh, that album's badass, man.
I'm going with Jag Panzer, Ample Destruction.
Oh yeah,
man, this album's just a fucking classic. Such a ripper of a record. And the song I'm going with is License to Kill, the first song on side A. That gets this album going, and the chorus in that, and the galloping riffs, and it's just a U.S. metal masterpiece that not a lot of people know about. I mean, the metal guys know about this, but this is a cool stream for me too, because I get to show my metal stuff, like my heavy metal stuff, because I don't really do that on my channel because I'm mostly doing death and thrash. So it's kind of cool to be able to like do some like straight up heavy metal stuff. And that's why I wanted to do this stream. But man, if you guys haven't heard this album, Jag Panzer, great record. Just killer US metal, bordering almost on power metal, but the vocals are awesome too. Just a banger of a record.
That's great. That's a great choice. And a band I don't own anything by, dude, that I should. You know what I mean? That's one. What's the one with like the chessboard?
That's Jaguar.
Jaguar is sick, man.
Oh, that's
Almost
Jaguar.
made the list.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Jag Panzer with the
No,
chessboard.
that's Jaguar.
Okay, wow, I didn't realize that. Duh.
Jaguar is sick though.
Look kind of stupid. All right, so we talk about the voice of metal, and this guy also is probably in that pantheon of the top metal singers, and clearly his pedigree goes all the way back to the beginning. And while I will admit that I really only like the first 5 albums, and I don't really pay any attention to what this guy does anymore. I did see him twice. I saw him in 86 for, that would have been The Ultimate Sin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him with Metallica opening for Masters before Masters dropped, or it may have just dropped actually. But I didn't really know who Metallica really was. I hate to admit, I didn't really know about Metallica like full on until 86. I'd heard the name, saw it in Kerrang, but I didn't really know. But and then I also saw him later. This guy headline over Queensryche for the Rage for Order. Might have been the same album. I'm not sure. I think I might have seen him twice. So, of course, I'm talking about Ozzy. And, of course, there are tons of tracks I could pick, right? I could have gone with, Mr. Crowley. I love that track. Or, Crazy Train, or fucking Over the Mountains, or there's just so many that I could have gone with, but I'm going with the title track to Diary of a Madman. What a killer guitar song. We lost Randy after that album, and it was, it's a loss that we still in the metal community still mourn that guy, because he was the heir apparent to become from Eddie and post Yngwie and stuff like that. And he was the guy, and he's just such an incredible writer. And that particular track, Diary of a Madman, for me, encompasses everything that's killer about Ozzy Osbourne's solo career. Just really cool atmospheric vocals, a very cool atmospheric track, lots of killer guitar riffs on it. That intro, man, like that intro is so haunting and eerie and super badass. So Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman is my second choice. Are you there? Hello? Uh-oh. What happened? Hey, Dennis, I don't see you. Are you guys seeing me or hearing me? What happened?
You there?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. It just said lost connection. I don't know what happened. It was just
maybe it lost on my end. I'm going
know.
hello. I'm going.
Yeah, I know. I actually picked that one too, Geoff. Same song too. So
same song? Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking
Crazy Train for me all day.
Killer song. Yeah. I love that song too, dude. I mean, that first album, those first 2 albums, just almost impossible to beat, man.
Yeah. I love that song. My favorite Ozzy song for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, mine as well.
All right.
Pulling up my next pick, Scorpions. Dynamite would be the track I choose off this album. This album altogether, badass album, can't go wrong. It's my favorite Scorpions album altogether, which I just love Scorpions too. Yeah. But Dynamite was like one of the first tracks I ever heard by these guys. Heard it in a video game, actually. Fucking SSX on tour. It's a snowboarding game. Played that shit when I was like 10 years old. I'm like, oh man, this shit rocks.
Yeah, man.
And it still rocks to this day. I got this album and it's fucking, I always play it. My shit.
Yeah, we did. Your dad and I did a deep dive on that with a couple of dudes. And that one scored, as I remember, pretty high, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I think that was my number one, and I think Metalomania's number one too.
Mine, it was a little bit lower. I think it was third, I think.
Yeah.
And I do have a Scorpions track, but it's not off that album.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Pulling up the This one here. Man, I struggled here, and this band had to be on this list because anybody that knows me, Dennis, you know for sure, my favorite band of all time, bar none. But picking a track, like a favorite track, oh god, almost literally painful to the point where I had like 7 or 8 tracks. I'm like, fuck this, I don't even want to do this anymore. So, but I have to go with my very first. Come on now. Are you serious? You're going to be that bright? That light?
Got to get the perfect angle.
Man, that's terrible. Why is it that bad? The other ones work good. So it's Rush Hemispheres. I guess it's not going to work for me on this. Let me see. You bastard. Hold on.
There's Devin.
There we go. I had too much laid up. Okay. Just in time for the Rush chat. Of course, you little bitch. Rush Hemisphere is my first Rush album that I bought off the shelf in 1978. That's how old the fuck I am. And the song that captured me off this album is not the one I originally had. I had to think about it. I had to really think about it. It is the song The Trees. The Trees is just, it's like the lyrics are amazing. The guitar work on it is absolutely some of Alex Lifeson's best. The bass, the synth on it, and it's heavy, man. There's a lot of heavy guitar on this album, and especially I was right there with La Via Strangiato and Xanadu, but I was like, man, I gotta go with fucking The Trees. The Trees is just the song that captivated me, made me fall in love with this band. I got to see them 2 years later for the first time in 1980 on the Permanent Wave tour in the Sam Houston Coliseum in 1980. I was just about turning 15. I think I was like a month away from turning 15. And I definitely got wickedly stoned at this show, and it was killer. Sure. And the band that opened for them, and maybe you'll recognize this name, Dennis. I doubt you would, Damien, but Max Webster with Kim Mitchell. Do you remember them?
No, I don't remember them.
Don't know them? Kind of a Canadian proggy but heavy guitar band. I think you dig them quite a bit. Max Webster opened, and I remember definitively there was a song on there. It's called on their latest album at that time in '80, called "From the Moon," I believe it's called. Believe it or not, "From the Moon." And the lines, one of the lines is cocaine hookers. Cocaine hookers and bottles of JD. That was one of the lines, and I'm like, this band has to be cool, man.
Sure.
So there you go. Rush. It's the only time I'm picking Rush, but The Trees. That's the one.
All right. Got the Rush pick out of the way.
Got it out of the way.
All right, Damien, what do you got?
You're saving all yours?
No, I did Ozzy on my last one. It was the same as this.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm going to go with Savage Grace, and Fear My Way is the track I'm going to go with off this one. Again, like the whole album is a fucking banger all the way through. Got to listen to this if you haven't heard it. It is a bit obscure for sure. And it is like a little more on like a speed metal tip as well.
Yeah.
But this shit fucking rips, man. And
great record. Great U.S. speed metal.
You really can't go wrong with any song, but Fear My Way I would put as my top song off that record and one of my top 20.
Again, I think we did a deep dive with Savage Grace at some point.
What's that? Yeah, we did. That's right. Yeah. And the guy keeps wanting to talk to us. I keep getting emails. I'm like, dude, take a hint,
Right. It's like, nah, dude, we're good.
Nah.
All right, my next pick. This is another U.S. metal classic. I'm going Liege Lord in the song Master
there you go.
Man, Master Control, such a fucking killer record. I love that song. Probably obviously my favorite song on this record. One of my favorite metal songs. I just love the way that song just the way that it's composed and the solo in that and the chorus. Man, that's badass. Plus, it's got a fucking Robotech.
Yeah, that shit's
sick
right there. You got the mecha robot on the front.
Right. And look at those guys. Those guys are cool. I like the guys.
Yeah, I know that name, but I've never actually checked them out. Are they an LA band?
They're sick, man. I like a couple of their albums too. Their album before this was really good as well.
Where are they from?
I think they're from LA.
I was thinking LA, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I might be mistaken. If you guys know in the comments, let me know. But
is that like a robot thing? Yeah.
Like a robot with like a gun. It's like a.
What year was that one?
I think it's 88.
6? Oh.
88.
Sweet. I gotta check them out. That's one that's been on my.
Gotta check this one out, Jeff. You'll like it. And the vocals are kind of like a mix between like it kind of sounds like Bobby Blitz from Overkill. Like he has that kind of. It's like a mix between him and what's the guy's name from Armored Saint?
John Bush.
Yeah, it's like a mix between John Bush.
Oh, that'd be good, man. I love John Bush.
Yeah, you'd like it for sure.
Shit. Now I just thought Armored Saint. I don't have them on my list, and they should be on my list.
It was really hard for me. I was so close to putting Armored Saint. They're sick, man.
Oh man, I fucking love Symbol of Salvation, man. Damn. Rain of Fire. That should be on my list. That's an honorable mention. I just made it that way.
For sure.
All right. We got to go. We got to go with some Maiden, man. Got to go with some Maiden. Now, should I go with something off Killers? I could.
Yeah.
I should. But am I? No. Am I going to go off of Power Slave? I could. If Devin was making this choice, he would. But he's not. So fuck him. I probably should do something off of Number of the Beast, right? I mean, that would be the one, right? It's not, though. It's coming off this album right here. It is the title track, Caught Somewhere in Time. Iron Maiden's fiercest fucking riff, Arama. I love that song. I fucking love the beginning of it. And just remember, this came out the same year that Turbo did with Priest, and everybody was fucking around with synthesizers, guitar synthesizers. Priest did not do it right with the guitar synthesizer. Maiden did do it right with this. And man, fucking Caught Somewhere in Time. Come on, man. That riff, just the energy of that song, Bruce's vocals are just love that song. Love that. Love this album. Even the song everyone hates on it, Heaven Can Wait. I like it. But to me, this is my favorite Maiden album, and I love a lot of Maiden albums. So,
damn, favorite album altogether, or just
favorite album altogether? My good friend.
It's really good. I like Wasted Years and
Sea of Madness,
Long Distance Runner, man.
Sea of Madness, Wasted Years. What's the other Bruce one on there that's really cool? Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yeah, it's got some sick tracks on it, man.
Bangers.
All right. Next up, I'm going with Rainbow.
Yes, sir.
Here's my other Dio choice. I already spoiled it a little bit earlier if you were watching. Man on the Silver Mountains, the track I'm going to go with. First track in the fucking album. Probably the most popular track on the album. Temple of the King is really good on this one as well. I mean, all the tracks are good, but I had to go with one, so I went with Man on the Silver Mountain.
Great track. Classic.
That's
and Ronnie James Dio once again on vocals. Can't beat him. Yeah, it's already been said.
I have a Rainbow track, but it's not on that album, and it's coming up.
It's fair.
I have one too. All right. My next one. We all know this one.
Oh, don't you dare steal my song. Don't you steal my song.
I probably am not going to, because I don't think this is on yours, honestly. I mean, I don't know if you really like this track. I mean, I was going to go Red Sharks, but I wanted to go, what's the name of the song? It's the last song on side 2.
In Dark Places.
In Dark Places.
That would have been my second choice. You didn't take my one.
Well, that's good. I was going to go Red Sharks, but man, In Dark Places is such a fucking banger. I love that. That's like their. Go ahead, sorry. It's like I love the atmosphere of that song, and I like the storytelling of that song. It's just such a fucking classic like metal song. Like it takes you somewhere.
Very evocative.
Yeah, especially if you're like reading the lyrics and like listening to that, man, it's so fucking good. But yeah, In Dark. I mean, I could just pick that whole album. Honestly, it's such a badass record. I mean, I even
you and I did our deep dive on that album, and I nerded out a lot on that thing, man.
Cool.
And actually, if you show my view, you'll see over my left shoulder right there. That's how much I love that album.
Is that a Life Force poster?
And actually, I owe that to Devin. Devin got me that for my birthday back in March. Well, since you said it, I'm going to get my pick out of the way on that one then too, because I doubt your son's going to know that or be into that one. But I mean, you probably would be into it if you know it, Damien. But
I mean, Crimson Glory is cool. I'm not against Crimson.
Fuck yeah,
Glory.
man. My track on there is Burning Bridges.
Yeah,
man, dude, like the epicness of that song is beyond explanation. I just can't even. That to me is probably the most epic prog metal track of all time, and I've got several other ones on my list coming up here. Crimson Glory from Transcendence, 1988. Burning Bridges, From Dark Place or In Dark Places, Red Sharks.
No.
Lonely. Even the hit song on there, Lonely, is a great track.
Man. Lonely's a killer track. I could easily pick Lonely. I mean, that's such a great track. Very like, and that's what I like about In Dark Places too. It reminds me kind of almost like a King Diamond song, the way they go through those different styles in that song. It's such a great song.
You're totally right about that. It's very King Diamond-y.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
I'm pulling up the Oz. I'm going to go with Fire in the Brain, the title track off of this album. Shit's fucking badass. Couple other good songs. I mean, all the songs are dope. Once again, you got to listen to the album if you haven't heard it. Searchlights is a good ass song, but Fire in the Brain, title track, something you got to hear. If you listen to it.
That's one I do not know. I've never even heard that band before.
You got to listen, man. Oz is dope. Third Morning is also a good ass album. Hard not to even pick anything off that album for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, killer band. I think they're from Sweden, right?
I'm not sure where they're from, actually. They might be a Swedish heavy metal band. Might be why they're a little more obscure. They're on Combat Records.
Yeah, it's on Combat. And they had that killer song, Turn the Cross Upside Down. If I had that record, I would.
That's a badass track, too.
I only pick stuff I had the records for. So
they are from Finland.
Finland. All right.
Yeah. Formed 77, split up in 91 and reformed in 2010. How about that? I have never heard of them.
Oh, you got to check. You'll love it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that kind of metal, so I'll dig that.
Yeah. All right. My next pick. Another U.S. I got a lot of U.S. metal here. I'm going Leatherwolf.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the song on this, Kill and Kill Again. Man, that song is such a banger.
Yeah, I forgot about that album.
Man, the bass on that song and the chorus, Kill and Kill Again. It's just, oh, man, such a ripper of a track.
Total Slayer.
Yeah, and like the guys are in their spandex, but they don't sound like this. That's what's cool. And again, I think these guys were from like the same area as Slayer. I think they're from Huntington Beach, which is just a coincidence that they have a song called Kill and Kill Again. But this came out in like 80, I want to say 82, 80.
Yeah, that one's pretty early, yeah.
Yeah, but oh man,
the album cover rules too.
It's a banger of a record, man. Even all the rest of the songs, Season of the Witch, Leatherwolf, Spider. Just
actually, it's very Black Tiger looking.
Yeah,
wolf, right?
Yep, just a wolf ripping through red leather, probably leather wolf. I don't know.
Leather wolf.
That's my guess.
I always get them confused. Wasn't there a Christian band called Leatherwolf or something like that?
I have no idea.
Like a Christian, like Striper, like metal band?
I mean, possibly. I don't think they're.
I swear there was, man. I swear there was. I just can't remember who the hell it was.
I mean, they might be Christian, but I don't think that on that record they're Christian. But Leatherwolf was around in the 80s. They had videos on MTV. I remember them. Yeah, I definitely remember them.
I don't own anything by him, but
that EP is way more like new wave of British heavy metal, more LA scene style too. It had like that mix of that LA style and that new wave of British heavy metal style. But it was when like LA metal didn't know what to do, so they played like heavy songs but looked like glam guys, which was just like an odd thing at the time. It's like, well, we're gonna play songs and they're gonna sound good, but we're gonna dress like, Motley Crue because that's what
we're gonna dress like dudes
in the scene.
Yep. All right, Geoff. What number?
All right, man.
4, 5?
I don't even know. If you guys aren't keeping track, I wasn't. I'm terrible at that shit.
5.
All right. So, in keeping with the Crimson Glory kind of vibe, and who else did I say on here? I had Rush kind of a little bit, sort of, kind of, but you got to kind of go with this band, man. Got to go with this band and this album, the EP. Queensryche EP, the first one, 1983, I believe this came out, or was it 82? Might have been late 82, early 83.
I think it was 82, but it might have been 83.
And this whole thing is a fucking banger, man. Banger of an album. 4 monster tracks. But it really came down to 2 for me. Was I going to go Queen of the Reich, or was I going to go... I'm going with Lady Wore Black, man.
All right.
Fucking love that song. It's so... Oh, man, that part where Jeff Tate's doing the "we sat with Satan together in silence, never speaking any words." And you're just like, and then he does the, I can't do the high part there, when he does the "Lady Wore Black." Yeah, I can't go that high and without falsetto. Fucking monster track. But Queen of the Reich is 1A on that thing too, right? I mean, that song fucking vicious, right?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Queensryche, dope. Hard not to make it on my list either. That's one that's not there, but almost should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
All right, Damien, what do you got?
Going with Tank. Gonna go with the song Heavy Artillery off this album. Another one. I mean, I could play all these albums all the way through, so I'm probably going to keep on saying that, but fucking A. Dope-ass album. Heavy Artillery's dope. Blood, Guts, and Beer is dope. There's a couple other fucking dope-ass songs off this album. The cover's really cool on this one, too. You got the Cerberus head.
Yeah, just
and
a classic.
I love the Tank sound, too. The vocalist's real different than most vocalists in these heavy metal bands. He's a little deeper on his vocals.
Yeah, just a classic.
Speaking of Mark's telling us that Slayer is not from Huntington Beach, Huntington Park. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Don't know if I know the difference there.
It's not a beach, it's a park. All right. I'm going to go classic too, and I'm going with the song Am I Evil by Diamond Head.
Classic track.
Man, it's such a badass track. I mean, obviously Metallica.
Hell yeah.
Song, but I mean, for a reason, because this is a fucking metal banger. And I mean, dude, those drums, just the way, this kind of like was a blueprint for thrash metal, I guess. Diamond Head, all those new wave of British heavy metals, but definitely Diamond Head had that. They just had that fucking sound way back when nobody even knew what this was. But such a great track. I mean, the lyrics, the vocals, the witch burnings. It's just a fucking badass song. Obviously, everybody knows the cover song, but if you don't know the actual song by Diamond Head, definitely check it out. It's so fucking good. Man, that's my, number 6, number 7?
I think that was your 6.
Okay. All right, Geoff.
All right, man. So it has to be done. I hesitate to say this is my favorite album in the world because I would probably be proven wrong, but it's certainly in the top 3, and it could, at any given day or time, be my number 1. Rainbow Rising, fucking monster of an album.
Yeah.
And every track on this album just absolutely kicks ass. But there's one that just is mind-blowing, and that is Stargazer, which is Ronnie James Dio's masterpiece of vocals, and he's got another two that I'm going to talk about in here yet, which that's why I say he's kind of the embodiment of metal singing. But this guy with Richie Blackmore, man, and the album that you showed, Damien.
I brought down my cassette for him. I have that cassette. I know that shit. That's my shit. I love it.
Fuck yeah, the killer album, man. Killer song. Track listing on this album, and like I said, it's not just that. It's let me see here real quick. I should know these off the top of my head, but where is shit? The fuck? Somehow I ended up on the somehow I hit that picture I was looking at, and it sent me to the Spanish version of the album. Oh. So I'm trying to read the fucking titles. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't read Spanish.
Huh.
But yeah, man, you're talking fucking. You got. I don't know if you guys know Tony Carey from Planet P. He's actually on this album, which is kind of weird. I always forgot that he played the keyboards on here. Of course, you got Cozy Powell on drums, man. God damn, Cozy Powell. Richie Blackmore, stunning. Jimmy Bain on bass, who went on to go into Dio. And, as far as songs, you got Tarot Woman, Run with a Wolf, Do You Close Your Eyes?
Go.
A Light in the Black? Come on. But still, Stargazer's the track for me, man. It's just the one. So
for sure. That's a classic track, too.
Yep. All right. What do you got, Damon?
We got the dude from Canada. What's up, man? Next track, it's off Peace of Mind. I'm going to go with Revelations off this one.
Yeah.
It was a total toss-up for me because this is the picture disc, by the way. You got to check that shit out. It looks fucking sweet. But I was going to choose something off of Power Slave because I really like the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner as well. So that's got to go up there. Honorable mention, get it out of the way. That fucking song is badass. That album's badass. Oh, yeah. I had to go with the Peace of Mind, Revelations. Both those songs, totally epic. Go for minutes each for sure. And they have all these transitions, and it just gets super dope in those tracks.
All right. Well,
yeah, that part, the mellow part where he does the, just a babe in the black abyss.
Yeah.
No reason for a place like this. Ah, so good, man.
I'm gonna
keep it on singing.
I'm gonna keep it on the Maiden tip with Number of the Beast, and everybody knows this song. Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Oh, of course.
That's up there for sure.
Again, another very theatrical track. Man, the storytelling, Bruce's vocals on this. For me, I think this is the album where Bruce had he had something to prove on this record. Obviously, his first record with Maiden, and especially just watch the live stuff when he does this, and when he was on tour with this record, he's he's flawless on this shit. Even live, he's just perfect. He's even better live, I think, than on the record. But man, this
for sure, yeah.
But on this record, Hallowed Be Thy Name, just a banger of a track, and of course this record. I mean, Run to the Hills gets a lot of
hype. Prisoner, man, Prisoner.
That's a dope song.
For me, it's 22 Acacia Avenue.
22 Acacia Avenue. Fuck yeah.
Love that song. Well. It's one of my that and Children of the Damned. Those three songs. Oh God,
Children of the Damned. Children of the Damned. Oh.
Those three songs on this record are just my favorite. But Hallowed Be Thy Name is again just a classic heavy metal track that if somebody says, "Hey, I like metal," you're like, "Okay, have you heard Iron Maiden?" Oh yeah, I know Run to the Hills or whatever. It's no, that's not Maiden. Check out Hallowed Be Thy Name. Check out fucking Phantom of the Opera. But man,
Invaders.
Invaders. Man, just a great
Wrathchild. I mean, I like the Paul Di'Anno stuff too. It's a shame not to have him on any of our lists, and I forgot to bring down my first album, so we can't even have it as an honorable mention. But I'm mentioning it now. The Paul Di'Anno stuff rocks too, man.
Really
cool. Yeah. Wrathchild, man. Wrathchild's a fucking banger. Murders in the Rue Morgue, the fucking Fan of the Opera. I mean, you know, it is crazy that they went from that guy to Bruce and they went from strength to strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Have to do this.
Oh, is it?
And Dennis, I'm going to play a little game here. I'm going to show the album and you're going to guess what song I picked.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
I think you'll get it. All right. One of my other favorite, hard rock. Are they metal? Probably not. They're probably borderline. For the era, they were probably pretty metal, but they weren't like exactly Priest or Maiden. They predate both. Well, they predate Maiden for sure. But yeah, man, one of my absolute favorite bands. So I think they've got a lot of crunchy killer guitar in there. I think they qualify on my for me they do anyways. And this is the album Triumph, Just a Game.
Nice.
Got the Triumph.
Which song did I pick, Dennis?
Oh, shit. I don't know. What's that whole record just rules. Like I can't even think of the best song on that record.
I went with the title track. I almost went with Lay It on the Line because Lay It on the Line.
I'd probably go with Lay It, but the title track rules too.
The title track's a little more proggy. It's a little more involved. There's some killer lead work on it. It's very atmospheric. It's very, very cool. I just love that song. It's my favorite Triumph song, and I have a lot of favorite Triumph songs. Lay It on the Line's more the banger. It's more the in-your-face radio song, but it's so killer. And, you know, whenever anybody talks about, like, underrated guitar players, not that Rick Emmett's underrated to anybody that knows anything about guitar, but if you don't know much about that band, you should check them out. Are they balls to the wall metal? No, they're not. I get that.
But
so
they did play the Metal Fest with
the
Crew and Ozzy on that US Festival in '83.
Yep. They were on the Metal Day with Scorpions and who else was on that? Priest? Was Priest on that?
Yeah, Priest was there.
Yeah. So they were heavy enough to be on that stage with those guys, and I contend for three guys, they're heavy as fuck. So
and plus they fit in with that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a stretch. It wasn't like who the fuck is Triumph? They're like,
right, yeah.
So that was the thing too back in then. It was just like Triumph. Like you have to think back in the day. Like you can say like, oh, blah blah blah. Triumph isn't metal or whatever, but they fit in right with those. They had those riffs and those song structures that like totally fit in with. You know,
stuff like. I mean, you could go with like Allied Forces. That's a fucking metal track, man. Or, you know, When the Lights Go Down or something like that. For sure, man. Hard rock verging on metal. Yep,
for sure. All right, Damien, what do you got?
I'm going to go Manowar. Nobody's going to deny this is metal because they're all brothers in metal. I'm going to go with the track Fighting the World, the title track off of this album. Fucking badass band altogether. I mean, if you know anything about metal, brothers in metal, then you ought to listen to fucking Manowar, man. This shit, I mean, they've got more metal anthems than any other
right.
band I can fucking think of.
Every album has a metal anthem on it about metal. If you don't listen,
should I tell them now, Dennis, or not?
What?
I fucking hate Manowar.
Damn, there it is. I love Manowar, man.
I could stand
wrong with that shit. Might be cheesy. It might come off as cheesy, but at least they're all about metal all the time.
Joey DeMaio would beat up chicks if they weren't metal enough for him.
Is that a thing?
What? You have a vagina? So what? You're not metal enough. I'm gonna kick your ass.
You don't ride a Harley? Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you.
All right, I'm gonna go with another banger, man. I love this record. I'm going Loudness, Thunder in the East, and the track I'm doing off this is Clockwork Toy, man. Oh man, it's such a great fucking song. These guys were a little bit heavier than what was coming out in the mid '80s, early '80s, but they had like a different style about them, and I don't know what it was, but man, when I heard like this record when I was a kid, I was like, man, these guys are from Japan, and like some of the riffs, what's the fucking guitar's name? Akira Takasaki, I think his name is.
Oh, Akira.
Yeah, dude.
Which song did you take?
Clockwork Toy.
Oh, Heavy Chains.
It's like one of my favorite songs too.
Yeah. Heavy Chains. I mean, this record is just a nonstop banger.
I love that fucking album.
I love it too, man. Saw him on that tour. I saw him on that tour open for Motley Crue, and they blew Motley Crue off the fucking stage, man.
I bet, because they were actually
which isn't hard to do, but you know.
No, it's not, because these guys rip, especially on this record. Man, this shit's such a fucking banger, man. I love this record. I still love it. And that's the thing with like some of these records, you put them on and you're like, that's not what I remember. Like, but you put this on, it still sounds fucking amazing.
I listen to this. I have it on cassette, and it always ends up in my fucking cassette player, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I could listen to this whole album through any time.
Yeah.
It's great album.
It's one of those records you can listen to the whole thing. It's not like, oh, I just listened to like, and Necron says MZA. Fuck yeah, dude. What does it even mean?
That's the funniest part. Yeah, MZA. But like when he's singing the Walk and Walk Crazy Nights.
Yeah, man, that song rules.
I love it, man. My favorite song there, those Heavy Chains, and Clockwork Toy fucking rips too, man.
Yeah, I love it.
And actually, the album before that, I think, is Disillusion, right?
Yeah.
That album's dark as fuck, and Law of Devil's Land's great too, man.
Yeah, it's all those fucking Loudness records. Even the one after this was good too. But man, killer shit. I think they're still around.
Akira was like the Japanese Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
And he smoked, still does. So, all right, I'm gonna go with. Okay. This I'm gonna quiz you again, Dennis, on this one because I'm just gonna do it. All right, you ready?
Yep. Oh shit!
You know damn well that was coming out. You knew damn well it was coming out. First debut Fifth Angel album from 1986. If you had to guess, what song?
God, you pick these records that have like all the good songs on them. There's no way you even pick
I know.
What is
I'll make it easy for you. It's the title track, man.
I was gonna say it's got to be the title track because
it would either be that or Wings of Destiny, right? And Wings of Destiny is a little bit more of a sleeper grower sort of track. But you're right. Every song on that album is a fucking banger. Damien, have you heard Fifth Angel?
I haven't actually.
Bro! Oh.
You got me there. That's the first band I haven't heard of on all of these.
Your father has not been parenting you correctly, obviously. Oh, man. We're riding on the wings of destiny. Oh, come on, man. Does it get any cooler than that? I say no, it doesn't. Oh, and by the way, can I pimp my channel just a tiny little bit?
Yeah, go ahead, Geoff.
Go check out the interview I did on Saturday with Ed Archer from Fifth Angel, original vocalist. And on July 4th, I did an interview with Ken Mary, the original drummer, and Ed Archer, and new vocalist Steve Carlson on their latest album, which is a killer, man. When Angels Kill, I'm not lying. It is a monstrously killer album. Dennis, have you checked that out? Because if you haven't, you need to. It's fucking great, dude.
I checked it out. It's bad.
Yep. Really good for a band that long in the tooth to sound that fresh and that good. You know, is it anything brand new? No, of course not. But it's just really fucking good songs, man.
Yeah, there's a couple songs where they're kind of filler songs, but some of those songs are just bangers for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we know what number we're on? Do we know what number we're on? Hello? Did I freeze again? What the fuck, man? I froze again?
No, you're good, dude.
I'm back. All right.
Okay, you're good. One Shot at Glory, the fucking the album Painkiller. Got to go off this one for me. It's probably not going to be the most popular of Priest fans. I've got almost every other fucking Priest album. This is one of the ones I don't have. I had to get it from Pops over here. But One Shot at Glory. Love that fucking song, man. Love this album. It is almost like it's got like a bit of a speed metal edge to it.
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely later in their career, but I think this album holds up really good, man. I can always listen to this shit.
Yeah, that's a great fucking record. And that was like one of those like comeback records because
it was.
Because Priest
sure.
was like, they were kind of like down in the dumps. Like they were doing like, they did Turbo, then they
Ram It Down, that Ram It Down thing.
Then they tried to do Ram It Down. They got a little bit more heavy, but then they did that Johnny Be Good cover. It's horrible.
Hey, don't talk bad about Johnny Be Good. That might be my track I chose.
You are not.
No way, man.
But yeah, and then they came back with Painkiller. They were like, all right, we need to revamp and like.
Yeah, that was like their comeback album,
Yeah.
totally. Yep. And it came back harder than ever, I feel like. Heavier.
Well, that was their first comeback because then they had a second comeback with Angel Retribution or whatever that album was. The one when actually after Rob took off and did Fight and 2 and all that stuff, then they came back. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So my next one, this is my Black Sabbath pick. I'm going.
Yeah.
And the song I'm choosing on this is Falling Off the Edge of the World.
Oh, what a song.
That's a great song.
God damn, that song is so good.
Under fucking rated record for one. And that song is just a fucking banger. Dio, he's, man. Like, you talk about one of the best metal singers ever. Like, that guy, like, everything he did was like, no one ever complained. They were like, oh, geez, Dio lost it. Up until when his last record, like, Dio was the man. But Falling Off the Edge of the World, again, you know how I like these epic songs, but that is one. I mean, besides Sign of the Southern Cross, which I almost pick, those two for me, those are just bangers.
Even Mob Rules title track has really good riff in it. I like all those songs on that.
And that album and, you know, quite frankly, Heaven and Hell, kind of almost perfect. Kind of perfect albums.
And even that cover, man, it's like really just dark and.
I always have a tough time. I always pick Mob Rules over Heaven and Hell as my favorite album.
Yeah. But
there's a couple tracks on Heaven and Hell I tend to favor a little bit. One of which is coming up here in my list. Yeah. But yeah. Sektor. Show Holy Diver, please. Because that's where my pick is coming from. Well, you have to have both of us on there. There we go. Holy Diver. I am going with Don't Talk to Strangers, man.
Yep.
That's a great
man.
Track.
That part where he goes, you know, don't talk to strangers because they're what is it? They're only there to rule your mind. And then when he does, don't go to heaven because it's really only hell. And then he gets that last part where because they'll only take you down. And it's just this fucking insane, man. And that song fucking tears ass. And I will tell you that my other choice, I guess I'll call it an honorable that's not an honorable, Last in Line, the leadoff track on Last in Line.
Man, I love that.
Love that song.
Yeah.
But the whole Dio Holy Diver album, 9.9.
Yeah, I mean, fucking A. Yeah. If it's not a 10, I would say it's a 10.
I'd have to go listen. I haven't listened to the whole thing in a while. I think there's one track on there that I have to go look. Isn't there one?
Yeah, this guy, Shame on the Night, hella good. Rainbow in the Dark.
Actually, Rainbow's kind of the one that I don't like, even though it was the big hit. It's those keyboards that.
Yeah, Rainbow in the Dark is the one you don't like. I like that song, actually.
It's a good song.
No, definitely. So, yeah, Dio.
Yep, for sure. All right, Dan.
That's my second Dio song. My third one's coming up. Only in different bands.
All right, I'm going Angel Witch by Angel Witch off the album Angel Witch. It's all in with these guys. They went same title track, and same fucking album name. But, I mean, that song fucking rips, and it's the first song on the album. Just leads you into a fucking great heavy metal album. Fucking dope shit. I mean, almost even like kind of black metal-y with the lyrics. I like that about it too. I got a couple things on my list like that, but definitely old school heavy metal though in the delivery.
Yep. All right, let me see that Dio record.
Back out.
All right. I'm gonna actually go Dio as well. I'm going Shame on the Night.
Ah, nice.
Man, that fucking song
Kills.
just kills, man. I like how it has almost that Black Sabbath feel to it.
Yeah, it does.
And the ending of that song, dun, 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 it's just crushes, man. And
Beast of an
like
album, man.
Yeah, man. Just Shame on the Night. Such a great track. I love the atmosphere on that one. It's such a fucking banger. This record, it's just a phenomenal record.
It's amazing.
A great debut, right? By a guy that just was like, if you think about it, it's like a guy that just came out of like, how many different bands was Dio in? He was a Rainbow and
Elf, Rainbow, and Sabbath.
Elf. And then all of a sudden he's got his own band. And it's like, you just gotta think like this guy just took off, especially with MTV at the time. But I bought this on.
That helped.
But it was on the radio. You got to remember, radio was back then, so they were playing Rainbow in the Dark
all the time. Yeah. And the reality of it is that, like we said, man, I bet you if you went up to 100 people on the street, you just walked up to people randomly and said, "Hey, when you think of metal, who do you think of as metal? Like metal? When you think of singers, who do you think of as the metal singer?" And I'll bet you, if you surveyed 100 people, I would bet that if they knew anything about music or knew anything about metal, 80% are going to say Dio or Ozzy.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. There's a lot of great other singers out there. Ian Gillan, a lot of great metal singers, but who personifies metal more than Ronnie James Dio? I just don't think anybody does.
So before we did this video, I was kind of looking at like top metal songs. Rolling Stone released
oh my God,
like a top 10 heavy metal songs all time.
Yeah,
which was fine. It had like Metallica, Slayer, etc. Ozzy. But what was really interesting to me is someone did a survey of Spotify and YouTube on how many hits those songs had.
Yeah.
Top metal songs, 100 metal songs. So 100 metal songs on Spotify and YouTube going into the billion range of listening. Number one was fucking System of a Down.
Rammstein probably has more though combined. Rammstein was on that list like 20 times. I swear to God.
That's fucked up, man. I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing those bands, but I'm not into them. But
Rammstein kind of sucks. System of a Down's all right, but to say that's the best heavy metal, that's kind of crazy.
System of a Down has been living off of 2 songs their entire career.
That's like new metal shit. It's not heavy metal.
Metallica, Judas Priest, and Iron Maiden had a few songs on there, but for the most part, it was like, I think even Papa Roach was like number 5.
Yeah, Papa Roach was up there.
Good Lord. Guns N' Roses too?
No,
Guns N' Roses didn't even make the list.
They didn't make
wow.
It was crazy because their shit gets played on the radio all the time.
Probably Stained was on there.
Yep, Stained was on there.
Which shows you something, dude. Which shows you something. And I don't criticize Pantera because I actually like Pantera.
There's 2 Pantera.
I like Pantera.
Yeah, I like Pantera.
Fuck Pantera.
But it's the Pantera fans. It's that group, the butt rock fans, that they know the breaking.
Butt rock is the perfect term too.
It's the butt rock shit, man. And I'm not being a dick. If you like that stuff, that's totally cool. I probably like a butt rock song or here and there. Okay,
right.
Although it's definitely not Stained. Fuck that guy. I'd fucking hit that. Never mind. Anyway, I can't say that shit out loud. Forgot. Yeah, man. That's just not my thing.
Yeah, Linkin Park, dude. That shit was on there like
Linkin
20
Park,
times too.
Linkin Park. Okay, let's all take a break. And there was like 12 Five Finger Death Punch songs.
Avenged
Of course
Sevenfold
there
and
were.
Linkin Park were there like 20 times each.
Linkin Park, Five Finger Death Punch. I was like, what the fuck is? I don't even know a Five Finger Death Punch.
I don't know a single one either, man. Nope, not at all.
But it just goes to show you what like people are listening to right now and what they think metal is. So if somebody says, "Hey, I'm into metal," they're probably into Linkin Park or Five Finger Death Punch or Papa Roach
or Slipknot or Slipknot.
Slipknot was on there. Avenged Sevenfold. What was the other one? Evanescence was on there.
Oh my god, that was on there a bunch of times. I never even really heard of them.
I know one song from. I know
views.
one Slipknot song that I know of. That the first album, something Bleed or whatever. Don't even know the name of the title of it. I don't know any. Evanescence would be that one. What's the name of that song? The piano thing with the chick singing. I don't even know the name of it.
And chicks singing. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Maybe they're all that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like. But that just shows that the metal that we generally like, typically us.
Yep.
This guy on Pantera, I don't know, man. Pantera was pretty dope. They were even heavy metal before they went fucking like thrash. They tried to copy Exhorder in the end with like their sound.
Pantera kind of got
their OG shit is pretty cool, actually. If you go back and listen to like
I like their heavy metal
stuff, that shit's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I just hate everything after fucking power metal for me.
They were lucky in that.
But I'm an old guy and I don't like that.
I still like Vulgar Display and Cowboys from Hell, but that's about as far as I go into that rabbit hole.
I like that album. I like Far Beyond Driven and the one in between there. I forget what it's called. The one with Walk on it.
Yeah, I think that's Vulgar Display, isn't it?
Vulgar Display, right? Yeah. I mean, and people don't like them. So hell, Necron says Pantera. But okay, I got it. I mean, I will tell you this: that if it wasn't for Pantera, I'm not sure that metal would have kind of resurfaced. They kind of kept it there with the new metal bands, which I don't like any of that shit. I think I own a Korn Greatest Hits, which I'm like, where'd that come from? Why did I buy that?
You bought that, remember?
I probably did. Somewhere along the line. And I know that I
probably listened to Korn than Pantera myself because I think Korn is like an original band. Like
I don't like Korn as much, but it's all personal preference anyway.
Like Korn came up with their own style. They melded. Like even if you like the singer doesn't even know metal. Like they weren't trying to like imitate anymore. Where I felt like Pantera was just like, oh, here's Exhorder. They're like a fucking band that we can just fucking rip off.
And look, the guy that was born in the 2000s just said, nah, metal was still alive in the underground in the 90s.
I mean, death metal was, but that's about it.
I know there was metal, but what I'm talking about is mainstream metal. A lot of the mainstream metal was gone. So, I mean, you had grunge kind of come in and take over. And then you had, the reality that was that a lot of this kind of crossover, like you said, with Korn, it was kind of like Korn melded a little bit with trip hop and hip hop and added a little bit of that to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that they weren't doing but thankfully, like they didn't become, I don't really love Korn, but they did bring the 7-string in, which was kind of an interesting thing. They were one of the first bands to do that. And they kind of were the better version of Limp Bizkit, which I just cannot fucking listen to. I just can't listen to it, man. And I own Significant Other. I bought it back in the day. I was in my late 20s. That was the shit that was happening. I don't know where that thing ever got to. I probably tossed it out a window somewhere, I'm pretty sure. But, that's just how it goes. But, all right, where were we? Who was up, Dennis? You went last?
I don't know.
Yeah, I went last.
All right, so I'm up?
Yeah.
All right. Damien mentioned Priest. Got to have Priest on here. But, when I initially wrote this down, I immediately went for one song. And then I started thinking, I'm like, man, is that really my favorite Priest song? It's definitely in the top couple, in the top. But I don't think it is. So the song that I originally picked was Victim of Changes. Nice. Not a shocker, right? Not a big one, right? But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I love that song, but it is not my favorite pre-song. My favorite pre-song, quite easily, quite frankly. And Damien, good choice in One Shot at Glory and Painkiller. Great album, killer album.
Yeah,
This is probably the outlier album that a lot of people are like, yeah, I like it, but the production is kind of lame, which I would agree with. But goddamn, man, The Sentinel.
Oh man, that album's great.
Yeah.
The Sentinel off of Defenders of the Faith. Are you kidding me, man? The fucking.
I mean, that probably would have been my second choice. That fucking song is awesome, man.
Oh my god, I'm not even gonna embarrass myself trying to sing that, but holy fuck, the Sentinel when he does that, you know, the Sentinel. It's just so badass. I fucking love that track, and the guitar work on that might be some of Glenn Tipton's best guitar work ever, man. And that whole album, pretty much soup to nuts, is a killer album.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Even the lyrically interesting Love Bites and Eat Me Alive, you know. I think we all kind of know what Rob was hinting at there a little bit. Hint, hint.
All right. Whose turn is it? Yours?
It's your turn. Sorry, no, it is my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right.
What number you at?
No, I'd have to count them.
I'm going to go like we're at like 10.
Got to go with Exciter, Heavy Metal Maniac.
Oh, there you go.
Title track off of this album. I mean, you say heavy metal, I immediately think of this song. It's kind of hard not to. It's in the name. Fucking badass album all the way through. Definitely a little bit more on a speed metal kind of vibe on this one, but I mean, they're before like all that shit. Really, they're way ahead of their time with their sound. They're even like innovators of thrash metal in a sense, but definitely an old school heavy metal album that's way harder than it fucking should be. Fucking badass.
Yeah, love that record. All right, I'm going with an all-time classic. I'm going with Twisted Sister, Under the Blade.
Oh, look at that.
And the song I'm going with right now is Destroyer. Again, another super heavy fucking song. Destroyer. Man, this is when Twisted Sister was just a fucking beast, man.
Dude, they were a metal band then. Then they kind of turned into a pop rock band.
For sure. But this record, man, so heavy. And it's so fucking nasty. I mean, even like I almost picked Run for Your Life. That song's so sick too, about a serial killer like chasing the girl. Man, this is like way ahead of its time for when this came out, like 82 or something like that. But man, this record. And of course, you got to get and they couldn't get signed. So they got signed by this label Secret that was like a punk label because the label, no US label would sign them. So they went over to the UK to tour for Secret, and like people were throwing shit at them, like, what the fuck is this shit? But that's kind of a cool little side story. I think they have a live video of them playing this record over in UK too.
That's to me, that's the Twisted Sister album to own.
It is, man. And don't get the Elektra version because they like redid it. It sounds very generic. Like they just like totally like fucking cut out like all like the heaviness of this record, made it sound very like streamlined. They just man, I hate that fucking re-release that they did of this.
I don't know if I've ever heard that, to be honest. I never went out and got it on that, so probably not.
Yeah, so it was because after Stay Hungry was so popular, they re-released.
They reissued it. They got bought up. And they reissued it.
Yeah, and it says remixed, but all they did was like neuter it. They just like totally neutered the record to make it sound like radio friendly. I don't know how they did that, but they took all the balls out of the record, and it just sounds like shit. But definitely get this version. It's even on this version's on Spotify now. They like actually have this actual version, so that's cool because you couldn't get this version for a long time. You can only get it on vinyl or cassette, never released on CD. So,
is that an OG that you got back in the day?
Of course.
What a dumb question.
And I always loved the record. Even after I heard Stay Hungry, I was like, no, man, Under the Blade's where it's at. And Stay Hungry is not a bad record. Yeah, it has.
It's not awful. There's a couple good tracks. The price is great, man.
Yeah, Burning Hell's a fucking
Burning Hell's great. Yep. SMF.
Captain Howdy, man.
Yeah. I saw him for that tour, and then I saw, what was the one after that with like the Out of the Cellar? No, Out of the Sewer? No, what was it called?
Shit.
It had the sewer lid on the top of the.
Yeah, it had them Come Out and Play.
Come Out and Play. That's it. Yeah, I saw him on that one with Dokken open for him. Like I saw like Dokken like 15 times back in the day, but never as a headliner, always as an opener. It was weird, man. They were like opening for everybody.
That Twisted Sister documentary too, if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it actually. No.
Oh yeah, they were like, oh, like the record company wanted us to do because they did. They did another cover song on that. And
yeah, what was that?
It was some stupid song, but
it wasn't Smoking in the Boys' Room, was it? No, that was Motley Crue.
It was like
Radar Love?
Heading Out on the Highway. Was that what's that?
Radar Love.
Was it Radar Love?
Radar Love was actually a decent.
No, it wasn't Radar Love. It was like I don't remember, but
somebody will know. Leader of the Pack. That's it. Leader of the Pack. Yeah. That was terrible. Yeah, the leader of the pack. Oh,
that was horrible. And then they were even like, oh, dude, we shouldn't have listened to the record company. Like, even they were like, no, dude, we got too big for our britches. And like,
yeah,
we didn't stick to because Twisted Sister was like a club band for years, man, before they got signed. Even they played with Zebra too back then.
Sorry, I'm just looking at. Oh shit! Hold on, I'm trying to get. There we go. You son of a bitch! I hit the wrong thing. Okay. All right, you ready for me?
Yep.
All right, man. The OGs, the Godfathers, Black Sabbath.
Nice.
Off Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Where am I going, Dennis?
Don't steal my track.
I'm going Sabbath. I like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath on that song.
I love that track, but that's not it, man. Spiral Architect.
Good enough.
That's his.
No, it's not. I got a National Acrobat.
Oh, okay.
I love National Acrobat too, but Spiral Architect, man. Oh my freaking God, that song. You know, that super cool intro, the acoustic intro, right?
Yeah.
It kind of sets you up for, and actually in a weird way, you could almost say that this is almost kind of a poppy track in a weird way. It's not like super fucking heavy, but man, those, you know, that the beginning part of Sorcerers of Madness telling me that time. Just Ozzy's vocal on that song. I'm not going to keep going because that's a little out of my range. But, you know, like the chorus, man, you know that I could, you know that I would. It's just so badass. I love that song. I love Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite Sabbath album by far, not even close. I love all the other ones, but that album is their like proggy, weird, poppy metal sort of fusion of all those things, right? And Spiral Architect, man, rules.
Yep. All right, Damien.
Yeah, that shit's sick. I have to pull up the same ass album
for
this one. National Acrobat, my favorite song off this album. Good album all the way through, just like he said. Fucking badass artwork on
that artwork. Killer.
Super trippy, super dope. I mean, fucking A. Yeah, I mean, Sabra Cadabra, title track, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, National Acrobat, I put above them just a little bit, but this album is fucking great.
Yeah, all around, just a fucking classic, man.
Banger of an album, man. Banger.
All right, I'm gonna go with one you might know, Geoff, and
I might have.
My channel might know.
Okay,
I'm going Odin.
Oh.
Don't take no for an answer, man. I love this EP, dude. And I get it. It's like in the heyday of the 80s hair bands, but This album was like just so heavy for the time. It was like at a time when like you didn't like these guys didn't know, and if you don't know, that guy went on to Armored Saint, and this band sounds kind of like Armored Saint, but a little bit heavier. And the singer just fucking belts it, man. This guy just those high notes that he sings. Yep. And the song I'm going with is The Writer. The Writer. I can't do that, but man, just a really good written record. And of course, it went on to, I think they came out with a full length, but they never went anywhere. They were on the Decline of Western Civilization 2 documentary, which is hilarious.
Was it 2 or 3?
That documentary is funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's 2.
It was 2? Was it? I thought it was 3. I don't know why.
No, three's later on. 2, 1 was punk, 2 was metal, and they were on 2. And this one, but they were like already out of this phase. They were trying to be more like a glam band. But this one was just more straight up heavy metal because you couldn't play anything else at that point. So it was LA like hair metal, but these guys were playing metal, which was cool. Really good fucking. I love every song on this. I even love Shining Love, the fucking ballad.
Shining Love, the one that got flagged from my channel.
That killer song. Every song on here is really good. Judgment Day, Solar Eye.
That's good. Very good album.
Killer fucking EP, man. I love it. All right, Geoff.
Yeah, I always knew about them, but I'd never really checked them out, and I didn't remember them specifically from Western Decline, even though I'd seen that. I didn't recall it.
Yeah.
And it was funny when we went back and listened. I knew Jeff Duncan was in the band and then went to Armored Saint, but I didn't really know their stuff. And then when I watched the Decline sequence, I'm like, oh, this band, I remember these guys. All right. Yeah. And they're very good. And Shining Love's a great tune, man.
It is.
It's a terrible, horrible, awful,
video's hilarious.
Awful video. It's like the lowest of budget videos you'll ever see. The red piercing. That thing probably cost somebody like $80,000 back in the 80s. But
probably.
All right.
I'm pretty sure everyone was on cocaine on that fucking video.
Oh, fuck yeah. You kidding me?
Those guys know and we're down with that.
All right. So this was maybe the hardest choice I had to make, even over Rush. Because there's 2 songs on this album, which is my favorite of this band. One of my favorite all-time forever bands. Definitely metal. Definitely prog metal, but definitely metal. And man, right to this moment, I'm having trouble. Fuck. But I got to make a decision. So, the album is 1986's Fate's Warning, Awaken the Guardian. You knew that was coming if you know me. Probably a top 3 album up there with Dio, with Rainbow and Rush Hemispheres and a couple of handful of others. For me, every track on this album smokes. It's just a soup to nuts 10 out of 10. It's a 15 out of 10 for me. However, there's 2 songs that really stand out, and they are the 2 side closing tracks on an album or tape. They are Guardian or Exodus.
Yeah. I like Guardian a lot, man. Good tracks on that album. I love that album too.
I love Guardian, but I love Exodus just a tiny, tiny bit more. The part where he does the Exodus, ascend the plane, Exodus. Yeah, that's all I got in me on that one. Fucking A, dude. But, I mean, you got, even with Guardian, it's like, I will wish upon a star. Yeah, I can't go up to, I love that, man. You. What's that?
I love that album, man.
It's killer.
Yep.
Probably one of my favorite albums of all time, Damien. It's in that top 3 slot for sure. So I'm going Exodus just by a smidge over Guardian, man.
Yeah, such a fucking great record.
All right. I'm pulling up the Merciful Fate.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the picture disc. I'm going off the first song, Evil, off this one.
Killer.
A lot of mine have been the first songs. I feel like they really know how to open up their fucking albums in these heavy metal days. You know what I mean? Like, it really, it gets you in for the ride. Like, you're going to listen to it after listening to that first song. And that first song, Evil, on this fucking album, it gets you in, man. And I love Merciful Fate and King Diamond. If you've seen me before, you probably know that's probably one of my top bands. Like, Merciful Fate is my shit. And fucking this album, killer all the way through.
Yeah, such a great record, man. I mean, there's not much more you can say about Melissa. I mean, honestly, I don't think Melissa gets enough love because everybody always talks about
Don't Break the Oath.
Don't Break the Oath,
yeah.
which is another one. I mean it's hard not to mention it. That album
which
is
where
badass.
my song's coming from, so I'll mention it.
But yeah, exactly. We'll get you to throw in on that, but that shit's awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going with another fucking U.S. metal banger. I'm going Warlord.
Oh, there you go. We got to get on that, sir. We got to get on that.
I know. And, oh, man, the song on this one I'm going with, I can go with any song on this. But
yeah, you could, because that album is straight fucking
I'm going
bangers.
With the heavy metal banger, Lucifer's Hammer. Man.
Yeah.
Just a fucking...
Which we should mention, Dennis. Mark Zonder of future Fates Warning fame, drummer, was the drummer in Warlord and one of the main dudes. And apparently they're still doing stuff. I think they put an album out a little while back.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
we're supposed to do that on our
Warlord and Lordian Guard, and then Warlord again. I'm not sure what they're doing now, but they're always pretty dope.
Yeah. I mean, and again, Warlord only put out a few things. They put out this and I think an EP and that fake live album that had a VHS to it attached to it. But man, this is such a great EP, man. And Lucifer's Hammer, man, that's just a banger. That's a heavy metal track. And even like the title, Lucifer's Hammer, like, you know, it's metal. What is it going to be? Lucifer's Hammer's got to be a metal song. So just a fucking ripper of a track. If you guys haven't heard Warlord, I mean, I think this came out in like 83, but just a fucking, I mean, I love Child of the Damned.
Yeah, Child of the Damned is sick, man.
Man, such a band.
And the title track is really good too on that.
So good. Just a great fucking heavy metal record. Again.
Yep.
That shit that was coming out then, it was just like there was no blueprint to follow besides like a little bit of new wave of British heavy metal. But these guys took it to like this new kind of new era of what heavy metal should sound like. And Warlord doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion.
The Warlord had a little bit of a thrashy edge to them too. There was some speediness to their metal.
I mean, I think everything on Metal Blade kind of had that, like a little bit of that speed metal edge, and that's kind of how that
early
label,
Slayer.
Yeah, that's how that label kind of identified itself, is like it had that edge to it that wasn't happening with the rest of the bands going on at the time, like Rat and Motley Crue and all that shit. So,
all right, man. I'm gonna cheat again.
Take a piss.
Because
give me a beer.
I literally cannot choose between these songs, and they are lead off track 1 and 2, and they pretty much run into each other. Any guesses, Dennis, who I might be thinking about?
What was it again?
I said I'm going to cheat.
Okay.
I'm doing a double because these tracks blend into each other. One starts, the second one comes on right immediately after. Anything jump out to your mind? I think it's probably the best 1-2 punch opener for any thrash traditional metal album you're ever going to hear. Got a guess?
Oh, shit. No, I don't.
You already
picked it? You already picked it?
I'm picking this one.
Okay.
It's 1 and 2 together because they basically blend into each other.
Okay.
But it is 2 distinct songs, okay? I contend this is the best 1-2 punch of any metal record album ever created, and that album is, I believe this is 85? I hope I'm right on this. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. 85's Metal Church, and we are talking Beyond the Black and Metal Church. Dude,
man.
Dude, those first 2 tracks just absolutely fucking skull crushing and so dark, so evil. David Wayne, man. David Wayne. Wow. This guy's voice was just insane. I remember hearing this. Was this 85 this came out, or was it 84?
I think it was 85.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking too. Summer of '85. Remember going after work, getting a case of old mud pounders, going back to my buddy's place after work. That same place I was talking about where we rode tow motors. Got off, went back to his place. Fucking, he's like, dude, you got to check this out. Puts on this album and those first 2 tracks. I'm like, stop. Just go back and play those songs again.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, no, dude, you got to hear the rest of the album. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't give a fuck. Those 2 tracks, 2 tracks are the best metal songs I've ever heard. Beyond the Black and fucking
Metal Church.
Metal Church. Oh my God. I'm not even going to try to sing like David Wayne could because I can't. But killer duo there.
Yeah, man. Such a great fucking record. I mean, again, that was a heyday for sure. As far as like that stuff coming out, like you've never heard, like you're like, what is this? Holy shit! Even that album cover, like with the guitar, like as a gravestone.
The Explorer with the cross. It's like a cross as a gravestone.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That
was like on the borderline for me because it's almost thrash metal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of people would consider Metal Church thrash, so I didn't put it on. But I fucking agree. Great ass.
This album has a wee bit of thrash in it, but they were always a little too melodic, a little too I'd say verse chorusy to a degree, but I mean, like, what else is on here, man? Hitman. What's that other one? Fuck. Can't think of it off the top of my head. I should know this album better than I do, but
I should have grabbed the record, man. I got that shit on record. That's a great album.
You got Merciless Onslaught, Gods of Wrath.
Yeah, Gods of Wrath, fucking dope, man.
You got Hitman. You got In the Blood. Battalions. Then the only thing that fucks this album up a little bit is the Highway Star cover. It's a good cover, but I'm just not a covers guy.
I love Deep Purple too, but
so do I. But I just don't like
me.
I just wouldn't. I prefer not to hear metal albums with covers. That's just
sometimes some of my favorite albums have covers, like the next one.
Cool.
I'm gonna pull up though.
All right,
there you go,
right. Man. Fucking Narita. Sick ass album. I like Road Racing off this album. That's the last song on the album. But I mean, all the songs are dope. Even the cover is dope. Born to Be Wild. I mean, fucking A. All the shit rips. I like Waiting for the Taken and 49er. Like, there's a couple of dope ass songs on this. And Riot is a good band through and through.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's a little overlooked because if you see the album cover, it's fucking horrible. Like, I don't know why they went with this guy for the fucking mascot, man.
Well, because Fire Down Under has the seal coming up underneath from the.
Yeah, dude.
That's where it started. Yeah, it is so weird, man.
Went with that weird guy forever, like the seal man, and he's got like a terrible sunburn on this album cover too.
He's a sumo seal, right?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's a good pick, man. I didn't pick any Riot, but if I did, I probably would have had to have gone with Swords and Tequila. I love that song.
I love that song too. And what is it? Something of the King on there, not Temple of the King, but Something of the King.
Yeah,
the King on that album is really dope too.
I really liked. That was the guy. Is that the same vocalist on that one, Rhett Forrester?
Yeah, I believe it's always been the same dude on vocals.
No, they've had a lot of different singers. The thing is that they died. The one guy died. I can't remember what the deal was. I don't remember if he died.
This was the first vocalist. This is like the second album. So this is the first.
Let me look here. Oh, Fire Down Under is actually after that. You're right. That's that had
Guy something.
Guy Speranza. Guy Speranza.
Yeah, he's on this.
Yeah, Guy Speranza was on that one. He was also on Fire Down Under, which has Swords and Tequila on it. Yeah, I was thinking that was the other way around. I thought Narita was their third album. My bad.
It might be. Honestly,
no, that's a second.
I think it's second.
Yeah.
No, it's second. Yeah. Guy's the guy that died. He died in 2003. The original guy. Yeah.
All right, I'm going with another American heavy metal band, Armored Saint.
Yeah.
Delirious Nomad. Man, this record. does not get enough love, honestly.
I love that album, honestly.
And the song
I
I'm
love
going
it.
with on this is Aftermath, man. Such a fucking great
It
song.
is their kind of weird album, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, and it has like
it's more like
weird.
progressive. It's like a prog rock mixed with like old school heavy metal.
Yeah, and this
What is out on a limb on that one, or is that on Raising Fear?
No, that's not on this one.
What
I like
about
Raising Fear a lot, too.
Chemical Euphoria is not on that either, right?
No, that's on the other one.
That's on Raising Fear. That's probably my favorite one of theirs.
Yeah, this to me, I mean, I like the first one and I like Raising Fear, but this to me, like, it just sounded different than what was coming out at the time, and it sounded really, really, I don't know, man. It just, there's never been another like record that sounds like this, and it has Long Before I Die, Nervous Man, which is a fucking great track, The Laugh. But for me, Aftermath, that like intro into going into John Bush's vocals is so fucking good, man. I think John Bush is just the best on this record. Yeah,
Amazing.
man. It's just a banger of a record, and that song always be one of my favorite songs. Very emotional and just a fucking banger of a metal
Which
song.
was the track you took?
Aftermath.
Oh man, and I love Delirious Nomad. That song kicks ass
the
too.
title track is badass.
Yep.
Yeah,
Might be my favorite.
I agree.
I don't know what. I think that's Long Before it. No, I don't know. It's not called Delirious Nomad. It's something else, but they say that in the lyrics. All right, what do you got, Geoff?
All right, man. I am coming. Hold on. Whoop. Where are you? So this one is one of the tracks that, I remember so definitively from my late teenage years. You know what I mean? It's just so ingrained. Come on, don't give me a better picture than that, please. There we go. And I'll never forget this dude I used to work with again at that Dark Container was the name of the place. This is 1984. So this album's probably out about a half a year, maybe a year or so. And this guy brings us into play. We had a boombox that we could jam tunes while we're loading trucks at night. And we were on the second shift, 4 to 12, I think it was. And he pops this album in, and man, this lead off track, come on, man. It just doesn't get any more metal.
Hell yeah, dude.
Got some
See you in hell, my friends. See you in hell. I can't do that high shit. I'm a deeper voice than that. But man, just that fucking track. See you in hell.
Yep.
And this whole album's
really good.
Sorry about that. What's up?
That's the track off that album for sure, man.
Oh, by far. Yeah. But the rest of the album's not bad though, and so is the next two.
No, it's a good album.
Next two are really good. It's great, new wave of British heavy metal with a slight little bit of a, I guess, almost like a radio sheen to it. But man, See You in Hell, what a fucking killer! Nick Bocott, Steve Grimmett, who I think just passed away last year, I think, just fucking killer, man. And again, their first three albums
reminds me a little bit of Candlemass on that too, like somewhat. He just
like Messiah,
way crazy.
A little bit of Messiah, right?
Yeah,
that high. See you in hell, good stuff. So Grim Reaper had to do that one,
of course.
All right, Sabotage by the Grace of the Witch, second track off this album, fucking badass. It's not even an album. This is an EP. It's only a couple tracks on this thing. What, like 6?
Yep.
Fucking good ass EP. The one to listen to, honestly. I mean, Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King, great album, but the EP definitely a little bit better in my opinion. And fucking second song by the Grace of the Witch just fucking rips, man. Love the vocals on that shit.
Yeah, such a ripper of an EP, man. That and Sirens for me, for Sabotage. But yeah, like you said, Hall of the Mountain King's a good record too. But yeah, man, those early ones, that's just that fucking metal shit. All right. Geoff said Grim Reaper. I'm gonna go Grim Reaper, but I'm going Fear No Evil.
Oh, look at you.
That's my jam, man. I love that song. Fear No Evil. And I love the video
Great too.
with the fucking werewolf. with the
Wait a minute. Is that a different cover?
No, it's the EP.
Oh, it's EP. Okay.
Yeah, it has On Red.
Oh, nice.
But,
I've never
man,
actually heard that one. I've never
Really?
seen the EP.
Oh, it's a great song,
yeah,
man.
that's the
No, I've heard the song. I've just never seen the EP before.
yeah, that was the EP, but I think it was a promo radio thing.
Oh, yeah. It kind of looks like it.
Yeah, but man, when I first heard that song, I was like, man, that shit rips. The riffs on this and the vocals and the chorus, like that's just a fucking, it just gets into you. This is just pure fucking heavy metal, and I love this fucking song ever since I first heard it. Just a fucking banger. Riffs are amazing, singing's amazing, and man, just a badass fucking song. Definitely up there, top 20.
All right. So you guys talked about it, so I have to bring it up because it was on my list a little further down. But yeah, man. I love Sirens. I love the Dungeons of Calling.
Yep.
But I love this album so goddamn much because
I love
literally,
that album too. Great album.
literally every song on it is a smoking hot dagger to your fucking ass, man. In particular, the opening track,
Yeah.
which is Damien.
Which is Hall of the Mountain King, ain't it?
No.
Which one's the opening track?
I'm not even remotely going to try and sing it, but 24 hours ago. Da, 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 da. Oh my God, the fucking riffs. I will say right here now as a guitar player, the number one most underrated guitar player on the planet is Chris Oliva. And the main reason is because he died as his star was ascending, and that motherfucking dude could wail his balls off.
Yeah, dude.
I'm telling you, one of the greatest guitarists that never got to be where he could have been had he not been killed in that car accident, and had Sabotage continue to move on their onslaught on the metal community. I love all but what the fuck's that terrible album they did with them raising the flag up.
Yeah, that album sucks.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. But
Something like King of the Rock or something like
something
that.
of the Rock. Yeah, I can't remember. But the one after that,
the one with the fist through the cover too,
Power
and the
of the
glass.
Night.
Power of the Night's killer.
Sick,
Yeah.
man.
Power of the Night rages, man, and this rages. And quite frankly, even the album after this, Edge of Thorns, has a lot of killer tracks on it. Different, they brought Zach Thomas, I think his name is, Zach Thomas, I believe, in to start singing because what's his name? Fight for the Rock. That's it, Devin. Thanks. Because John Oliva got involved with TSO and that whole thing took off, and Sabotage, after Chris died, it kind of became a different band to a large extent. Still some good albums there, but this album just slays, and you could pretty much pick any other track on this album. But there's another one that I fucking love on here called Strange Wings. Oh, you guys remember that one?
Sick, man.
She flies strange wings. Oh my God, so good. I can't get near his voice, but and quite frankly, we talk about voices that are metal. John Oliva at his prime, Jesus balls. Get out of here. Get out of here. Dude was fucking insane.
Yep.
All right, Sabotage, 24 hours ago.
Doing Yngwie Malmsteen. Rising Force, the song Black Star off this fucking album. First song. Again, I'm going with the first song, but it's all good. This fucking album is sick all the way through, of course. I love fucking the Rising, or what's it called? Fucking Marching Out. That shit's sick too. But fucking, if you're looking for best guitar playing ever, Yngwie Malmsteen all the way. And I would argue that. I've had people argue with me that Yngwie Malmsteen's not that great compared to like Megadeth and shit like that. And that's
no, he's way better than that. The problem with Yngwie now is he just repeats himself constantly, and he doesn't write great songs. He doesn't write great songs anymore. But those first few albums, especially up through Odyssey, the album Odyssey with Joe Lynn Turner, it's a little more poppy, a little more radio friendly. But the album Odyssey and Eclipse too is very good. But when he was writing good songs with good singers, Yngwie unmatched.
Definitely. All right. I'm going. Oh, shit. Next one I'm going with is Omen.
Ah, look at you.
And I'm going, obviously, the Axeman. Just, again, another full up traditional heavy metal song. Just a fist pounder. The Axeman. I mean, you don't really get any more metal than this cover.
That
right?
album is insane, man. I love that fucking album.
And then you got like the Gatefold with the
that's a good album. We did an episode on them.
Yeah, dude.
I like the other album too. Warning of Danger. Man, that album is insane.
Everything Omen did was fucking amazing. Even that fucking weird fucking 80s, late 80s record.
Yeah, Teeth of the Hydra. Fucking sick,
ripper,
man.
Just a fucking banger. Like, and these guys were just doing it right. Like, I mean, early fucking 80s, again, Metal Blade Records, dude.
Yep.
Yngwie is a chode. Yngwie might be a douchebag, but he's got the right to be. He is one of the best fucking guitarists of all time.
I mean, Yngwie's, like, he's a dick, but man, those first couple records.
He's a total douche. I won't disagree with that, but he's a fucking great guitarist.
Yep.
He's a killer guitar player. He's an asshole of a human being. I've met him once when he was when George Lynch and Lynch Mob was opening for him. Just a full of himself douchebag.
Oh yeah, he's a total conceited.
And he treats his fucking. The last time I saw him was with Generation Axe, which was 2015. It was Steve Vai, Tosin Abasi.
I love Steve Vai too. Steve Vai is fucking sick, man.
Nuno Betancourt from Extreme, killer. Zach Wild was fucking insanely good. And then Yngwie comes out, and the whole set, he's bitching and complaining and kicking shit and kicking. His roadie comes out and he kicks his roadie in the ass. I was like, is this an act or is this real? I'm like, what a fucking douchebag. People started booing him, man. It was like, you're acting like such a douche, man. So, yeah. Definitely. All right. Damien, you talked about the Scorpions a little earlier, and I got to go Scorpions. And, man, this was a tough one. Oh,
yeah, I love
me some Scorpions,
I'm sure I'll love whatever you throw up there.
I love me some Scorpions, but I gotta go with off of Taken by Force in 1977, or is it 78? 78 maybe. I gotta go with one of the most metal songs ever, man. The Sails of Charon. Oh man, I love that song, and it's kind of Uli's thing, you know. He kind of, you know, we talking about Yngwie. If we're gonna talk about Yngwie, we got to talk about Uli Roth, because Uli Roth is kind of the original Yngwie in a lot of ways. So, man, fucking love that song, Sails of Charon. A very close second. I love the album Blackout.
Yep.
But I really, really, really love the album Animal Magnetism and the song Animal Magnetism.
Yeah, that's
just
fucking good song, man.
Fucking banger of a song. Probably their darkest, heaviest, most evil sounding song.
Heaviest song on the record.
But probably the heaviest Scorpion song ever, right?
Yeah.
It's just so dark and foreboding, in that, you know, you get me loose, I want you, it's all I do. And they make love to me right now. Oh, it's so goddamn good, man.
Yeah, dude.
Love me some Scorpions, but that's the song. What's that?
Sales is my favorite song on that record too, man.
Killer song. Burn the Sky. Burn the Sky is close though.
Burn the Sky is dope.
Such a great fucking record.
All right, cool.
All right, man. What do you got?
Going with the Cloven Hoof. I'm gonna go with Return of the Passover on this fucking album. I don't know if there's one that I haven't said this about, but it's a great album all the way through. You should probably listen to it if you haven't heard of it. It's a fucking Cloven Hoof, the title track, fucking Crack of the Whip, Laying Down the Law. Like, all these songs are great. Gates of Gehenna is fucking dope. But Return of the Passover, final song on the album, gonna be the number one for me from them.
Yeah,
that's another one I don't know. Never heard them before.
Dope.
Yeah, such a fucking banger of a record, man. Love that one.
All right. I know. I'm a douche canoe, pink panty wearing poser. I get it, but you know.
No, you're not, dude. Because he wouldn't even know that shit that we're talking about right now. So, all right, I'm gonna go with a record that Geoff already picked, but I'm doing a different song, and this is Judas Priest. Oh yes, man. Love this record. Shit, dude. I had this when I was a kid. Like, this probably one of the first Judas Priest records I got into besides Screaming. But this for me, Love Bites, man.
Love that song.
Oh,
in the dead of night, love bites.
Love Bites. I mean, man, dude, such a banger of a song. And man, I love that song. I love this record like all the way through. But that song, especially because like it has that, vampire edge to it as well.
Right.
Man, just
Dennis, read the tracks off on that album slow.
Oh, okay. We got Free Will Burning.
Free Will Burning. Fucking sick.
Killer.
And then straight into fucking Jawbreaker.
Fucking
yeah. Oh my God.
Rock Hard, Ride Free.
I love that song, man. I love it.
The Sentinel.
Greatest.
Love Bites.
Love it.
Eat Me Alive.
I love that song. I love it.
Some Heads Are Gonna Roll. The radio.
Love it.
Night Comes Down. Fucking heavy.
Killer song, man.
And then Heavy Duty, like transitioning into Defenders of the Faith,
sick.
man. Just this album
they're all good.
Bang.
That's a 9.95 out of 10 right there.
Right, dude.
The only reason I say it's not a 10 is the production on the drums is not. It's got that 80s drum sound that sucks.
Very, very 80s sounding, but that's when it came out, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just a banger of a record. Badass album cover. Just, you can put this in your fucking cassette deck back in fucking 87 and just fucking cruise for fucking chicks and be like, what's up? I'm jamming Sentinel. What's up?
Cruising for chicks, man. We ain't picking any up, but we're cruising for them, man.
Yeah. I got Sentinel playing. What's going on?
I got Sentinel playing. What more do you want, man? Get my eye rock, bitch. All right. You guys there?
Yep.
Okay. It froze on me a minute. All right. So we talked about Dio. I talked about Dio solo. I talked about Dio and Rainbow. Where do I got to go? I got to go to Sabbath. What album do I go to? I go to this album. And it's right there with Mob Rules, dude. I think I favor Mob Rules as a whole a little more than this album. Yeah. But man, there's a track on this album that just gets my fucking blood pumping, man. That is Neon Nights, man. That fucking song.
Love that song.
Rushes, man. It's just right out of the gate. It's just snapping your neck, man. And Dio, I love Heaven and Hell. I love Wishing Well. I love every song on this album. I probably like Mob Rules ever so slightly more, but man, the track Neon Nights on this album, it's rocket fuel for my balls, man. I'm just like, let's go. Let's get in that IROC and pick up some babes. Let's go. Oh. Even though I'm going to go home.
I love that album too. Neon Nights, great song, man.
That's a great fucking record. I mean,
even though I know at the end of the night I'm going home and I'm going to be with Rosie Palm. I just know that's what's happening. But,
yeah, but I mean,
killer album. And I think we probably mentioned Dio's name more than anyone else tonight, right? So far?
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Probably going to mention it again in a minute.
I figure, right.
All right.
Where we at? Anybody have any idea?
Yeah, I think we're on like 19.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty close to the end here. We got fucking
Hold on. There you go.
Death Penalty by Witchfinder
Oh, yeah.
General. That's the album, but I'm going to go with Free Country off this one. That's probably my favorite track. Fucking, I mean, this shit's ripper all the way through. If you like Black Sabbath, you're going to like this. Fucking just a little bit darker, a little bit more like kind of fucking little black metal-y in tone in a sense. But, I mean, it's old school fucking heavy metal.
Yeah, it's like old, like early Doom shit. Just a fucking great record, man. I love the vocals on that. I love the concept.
I mean, Witchfinder General, a couple other dope ass tracks on this album. Death Penalty itself is a dope song. R.I.P. dope song. Just crazy fucking album. If you're listening,
that the same album cover that Witchfinder General had?
This is Witchfinder General.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you call him? I thought you called him something else.
No, with Witchfinder General, Death Penalty is the album.
Death Penalty. Okay, you said Death Penalty. I didn't recognize that. Sorry.
That's the album. It's fucking good album, man.
Yeah, killer record. Okay, well, speaking of Dio, I'm going with this record. Oh man, dude, long live rock and roll. But the song I'm going with is fuck. Why doesn't it have the song titles on the back?
Sure, it does.
Oh yeah. I'm going with Gates to Babylon. Gates to Babylon.
Oh my God, that's a fucking killer track. I forgot about that one, man.
Oh man, that's such. I listened to this.
How did I forget about that?
Gates of Babylon's on one of my playlists, man. I hear this like maybe once a week. That song. Oh man, dude, I love that song. Dio's voice is incredible on it. This is probably one of the best Rainbow songs I've ever heard.
It's definitely a great track. This whole album's good.
Yeah, man. This is when fucking Rainbow. I mean, they were like, I think they were at their height.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep, they were.
I love the cover too on this one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite covers too.
That.
I mean, you got LA Connection on there, man. Like LA Connection. Lady of the Lake.
Lady of the Lake.
Kill the King.
Kill the King.
God damn. Rainbow Eyes. Get the fuck out of here. That's a masterpiece, that album.
It's just a banger of a record that nobody really even like talks about much because kind of like fell through the cracks because it was like on that teetering of that like hair metal stuff at the time. So, but man.
Well, Dio left after this too.
Right. That's
and that was huge.
Dio formed Dio right after the record, which is a really cool transition because he came off this record into Dio, which is kind of like a transition into Holy Diver from this record.
Very much so, yeah. Very much so, yeah. And I mean, I think the other problem is too that album follows, Rising, which was massive. I mean, that was just, so many people regard that as their classic. But these two albums, Rising and Long Live Rock and Roll, man, they're 1 and 1A for me. Two of my favorite records of all time are those two records right there. Yeah, I
love this record. Again, I listen to it all the time. So
Aaron's gonna pull that out and listen to it next. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what peer pressure does.
Because it fucking rules.
It fucking rules is right. God, what do I have here? Oh shit. Hold on a sec. Checking out my list to see what I might. We didn't really mention any newer bands, so I'm going to do one because this is definitely on my list. Would it be a top 20 for me?
We're on number 20, so you might want to think this out a little better. You don't want to put something that's not your top 20 on your top.
But we discussed that. I cannot break this down to my top 20.
This is the last one, though. If you could put one more that you really love, I
got 30 more fucking honorable mentions.
You know what I haven't heard is Icon.
Icon is dope.
I haven't heard any Icon.
They're on my list way down. They are on my list. Now I'm gonna go this one here. And this would be, I guess, the most newest thing that I chose. Probably. Let me see. Yeah, probably. I don't know when this album came out. Mid 90s, 95 maybe, 93. I can't remember. All right, I got to go with AIC, man. And I got to go off this album, even though I fucking love all Alice in Chains. This album is very special. It's dark. It's just savage as fuck. And the song I'm going with off here, Dennis, you want to take a guess?
Is that the one that has hole on it?
What's that?
Is that the one that has in a hole or something like that?
Down in a Hole?
Yep.
That would not be the track.
Okay.
One more guess?
Dirt?
That's a great track. That's not the track. I am going with.
I like Man in the Box. I don't think that's on that album.
That's on the first. That's on the first album. Yeah.
So what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's on Facelift. So what? Well, the big hits on this, if there were anything, would be obviously Them Bones would be huge.
Yeah, Them Bones is a good track.
Love that fucking track. Rain When I Die was, I think, that got some radio play. Would be the big one off here, I think.
Would.
Yeah.
And WOLD, not WOOD. And Down in a Hole. They would be the big songs, but I'm not picking any of those. I am picking fucking Junkhead, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is, so dark, so fucking heavy, so at the time that's where Lane was headed if he wasn't already there. And that part, it's and it ain't so bad. What's my drug of choice? Well, what have you got? Man, but I do it a lot. Oh, I fucking love that song. And I'm very fortunate that I got to see them with Lane just before this album came out. I saw them on their first tour. I want to say it was 90, so 2 or 3 years maybe before that came out. Lane Staley was the most powerful frontman, lead singer I've ever seen in my life. Just when he was healthy, man, the dude was fucking incendiary. Just incendiary. And yeah, I feel very fortunate I got to see them back then because I've seen him many times since then, and William Duvall does a great job, but he's not Lane. And that's okay. Nobody is Lane. So Lane Staley, and my first pick for honorable mentions, that guy that's singing for that band, my 2 favorite singers of all time. And Dio's up there too, obviously. So, yeah. Sure. Alice in Chains, Junkhead. Fuck yeah, man.
Good pick.
All right. Finally, I'm going with Halloween. Keeper of the Seven Keys. Gonna go with the title track once again, Keeper of the Seven Keys. That shit's like a 12-minute long song. Fucking epic song, got so many transitions, so many riffs, could never leave you bored, you know what I mean? That fucking song is fucking sick, man. I love Halloween, though, in general. I have to pull up the other Halloween album as an honorable mention right after because I love this. This whole album all the way through is almost just as good, but that one song, Keeper of the Seven Keys, it's their one song, but if you go Walls of Jericho, you're never going wrong with the song on this fucking album either.
Did Marty Worm come and pay you off, Damien?
I think so.
He had to have. Marty Worm had to have. This is Marty's infiltration, I can tell.
No, man. If you don't like Halloween, that it is what it is.
No. I like Halloween, but it's a funny story. There's one of our crew of metal guys, the metal heavy metallurgy. Your dad was on there a couple weeks ago, Marty. He just never, ever, ever, ever doesn't mention Halloween on any stream he's on.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. They're fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. It's like me and Rush. I never go through one stream without mentioning Rush.
I mean, this is one of the first metal albums I ever had, too. Like, I fucking bought this shit. I had like a little Walkman or whatever. I play this shit. And it's fucking a sick-ass album all the way through.
By the way,
it kind of got sentimental value to me as well.
By the way, Aaron dimed us out. He's right. I completely forgot that Dio went to Sabbath before he went solo. He went and did Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. Then he left. Yeah. So, because he left Rainbow in '78, I think it was, and went to Sabbath. And I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. That's the Halloween that's good, even if you don't like Halloween. I agree with that. That I had an OG copy of Keeper, sold it for like $2 in a garage sale, like a nitwit back in the day when I got rid of all
I love both parts. Part 2 is probably my favorite, just
Good.
because that's my favorite song. But both of them, man.
Cool. Good
I
pick.
get into that shit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go kind of opposite. I don't really like Halloween.
It's fair. I mean, everybody likes what they like.
The only Halloween I like is that first EP. That shit rips.
The EP is awesome too, but it's got a bunch of songs from this on it
and stuff. I could never get into even Walls and the Keeper. I mean, it's all right. I own it, but it's never like I was never like fucking Halloween.
I think my problem with Halloween and the power metal, the Euro power metal thing is it's too sing-songy for me a lot of the time. It's got that beer hall kind of, it's like that. Like you're at the bratwurst and you're doing fucking dance. You're dancing.
It's got like an uplifting sort of vibe to it.
It is. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Which I like a lot. It reminds me more of Iron Maiden than anything else. Which it's surprising
definitely
that you guys don't like it so much.
I mean, Halloween. I get the Iron Maiden influence, but to me, it just doesn't do anything for me. But I've tried many times. I'm like,
I'm like Dennis. You and I are in the same boat. Are you?
Maybe I missed something, but
Dennis, do you like Blind Guardian and bands like that too, or no?
I mean,
I like Blind Guardian.
They're okay.
Sure.
I like the first Blind Guardian.
Yeah, the first Blind Guardian.
But I'm not going to be like Blind Guardian's fucking rules. I'm not going to pick
just
them.
The first one.
Yeah, I think Damien, don't take it personal because we're not.
No, I'm not. It's all good.
I think what we're doing is we're telling you your dad and I are kind of that because your dad and I are close in age. He's a couple years younger than me, but I mean, when I got Keeper, I dug it, but it never drove me to want to buy any of their other albums.
It's on the same. If you listen to the song "Keeper of the Seven Keys," it's on the same level as like "Rime of the Ancient Mariner" by Iron Maiden. It totally is. It totally is. He's shaking his head no, but it's like the same. It's like a 13-minute epic song.
I know that.
With a bunch of transitions. Like it's the same structure.
I get the structure and everything. It doesn't have the feeling for me. Like it doesn't grab me.
I don't think it has the balls either, to be honest with you.
I love that shit, but that's just you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's got their own
old
opinion.
men. What the fuck do we know?
Shut.
Yeah, it is what it is. And if they're good. I get it. It just doesn't. They're
it's great, but you don't have to like it. It's
the weird
up
thing.
To you if you like it.
Put me up just one sec. The weird thing is, we can both be on. I think I've tried to reconcile this. Like, why I love ABBA and I love, Aha, and I like certain like pop bands, like positive stuff. But when it comes to metal, when I hear like poppy, bouncy metal, I don't know why it just makes me like.
I like it. It's unique because no other
you're like Marty
knows that shit.
You're like Marty. Marty loves the upness of the power metal, and I'm just one of those guys that I'm like.
But you say "Caught Somewhere in Time" is your favorite Maiden album, and that's all
pretty,
about the uplifting.
That's true. You're right. Too. That's probably their most up album. Although there's some dark stuff in there, like "Stranger in a Strange Land" and "Sea of Madness." It's that's a good point, though. I give you that point. That is probably their most positive sounding album with like Heaven Can Wait and Loneliness and Long Distance Runner. So you got to point there.
Wasted Years got tracks like that have the super uplifting kind of riff that fucking Halloween goes with.
But I don't like Somewhere in Time either.
He doesn't, but I do.
Yeah,
I love
that album. I'm a mystery here. I just kind of fucked myself on that. Yeah.
No, I mean you like what you like. I get it, but to me, like Somewhere in Time is very overproduced and very commercial sounding to me.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
to me, it's just not.
But this guy listens to the one with like the claymation dude on the cover too. So I mean,
yeah, that
well,
album.
here's the other thing about the Maiden thing, though. What I think, and not just Maiden, but sometimes albums just hit you.
yeah,
It's a time
different for everybody for
but
sure.
no, it's what I was getting at was it's a time and place thing. Sometimes it can be the circumstances you're in your life when you hear a certain album and you're like, oh man, that speaks to me. Every time I hear it, it takes me back to and Damien, you're how old are you? 20 what?
I'm 27.
27. All right, so you're still a fairly young guy. You're not young, but you're a young guy yet. Okay. When now I'm 57. So when I think of stuff like Somewhere in Time, it takes me back to 1986 and hearing that for the first time and really going, oh, but that was not my first Maiden album. My first Maiden album that I heard was Killers. My buddy had it, and I didn't really actually get their first album until my first album that I bought of theirs was the one you pulled, Peace of Mind. And, right there, Peace of Mind, Caught, Power Slave, and the first Dickinson album. Those are my albums. Doesn't mean that I don't like the two Deanna ones. Doesn't mean that I don't like Seventh Son and Brave New World and even A Matter of Life and Death. I like most all Maiden. I don't love all Maiden, but I like almost all of it. But for some reason, Caught in Time or Somewhere in Time, Caught Somewhere in Time, kind of just it hit the right sweet spot, and it always does when I go back to it. That's the only thing I can say, and I definitely heard what year is that Halloween? Is that 88 or 87?
I think it's like 89 or something like that. This one's before that. This one's 86 actually.
What the other one? The Keeper, what's the Keeper one?
Keeper is probably 89.
88.
Fucking can't read it on this. Yeah, it is 88.
Yeah, I thought it was 88 because I got that 2 years after I got out of high school, and
Geoff lives in a future world. I like that one.
I live in
Future World is a sick ass song. I love that song, man.
I might, maybe I do.
We all live in a future world. That song is sick, man.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that's just kind of how it works out. That like when I came into Rush, I came in at Hemispheres. It's my favorite album. Farewell to Kings, my second favorite album. And then the ones going up and then going back. It's just kind of how it happens. You fall into that place and you're like, that's my place. That's where I belong, So
yeah, for sure, man. No, I totally get what you're saying. Like you have certain memories of certain things, and that's what you like. I get. Like, there's certain albums you heard, and you're like, well, this album's not. You listen to it now, and you're like, well, would I like this now? Probably not. But when I first heard it, like, it makes sense to like, yeah, I love this record.
Yeah, it might be a better way to put it, Dennis, is like, if I heard this album now as opposed to 30 years ago, would I still think it's as interesting as I seem to now, simply without the nostalgia factor? You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, you have to think about it because nostalgia plays a big part in what we like right now.
Oh yeah, man. Huge.
I mean, even this stream is like, oh, I love this. But here's the thing too, because we got this dude who's 27 and he's liking a lot of the same stuff. So
that's cool.
It gives a validation of, yes, this is actually good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Shit is always better. And I'm going to say Halloween is better than most shit coming out today. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's not saying much.
No, it's not.
It's
but at the same time, it's saying a lot because there's fucking thousands of bands coming out today.
I agree.
And it's like they're fucking killing them.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah, so if you put it in those terms, like, oh, Halloween is better than like some new wave of traditional heavy metal band.
Exactly.
Yeah, you might.
They're always going to be better.
So, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we can debate like.
I'm not going to argue forever with you guys. We got to get our honorable mentions.
I still have one more pick.
That's right. And then I have 35. You have one more pick, and I have 35 honorable mentions. Come on, man.
All right, my last one. Well, wait, I have two, but I'm doing Queensryche.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm I'm gonna do Queen of the Reich on this one.
Yeah, he wanted to pick Lady Wore Black, but I picked it first. So
No, I had Queen of the Reich.
I'm kidding.
Queen of the Reich is probably my favorite track too. He's got me there.
Yeah, this whole fucking EP, dude. This is like Maiden on steroids, honestly. But fucking Geoff Tate fucking kills it, dude. And just the transitions, the compositions on this song, on this whole album is just fucking amazing. Obviously, it only has like 4 songs on it, but every song's a banger. Queen of the Reich, Knight Rider, Blinded, and Lady Wore Black. I don't know what Knight Rider is about, but I want to think it's about Knight Rider from Mad Max.
Hell yeah. That's what I always think of when I hear the fucking song title.
Yeah, man. Such a fucking
banger. Yeah, what's the other song there? What is it called? Knight Rider.
I'm the Knight Rider.
Ah, great tune, man.
Man, such a fucking wicked fucking heavy metal record that, man, just a fucking US banger.
And I'll tell you what, they came out with 2 of their best albums right after that. And I know you're not as, everyone talks about Mindcrime, obviously, but for me, The Warning and Rage, that's where it's at. Those 2 albums.
For me too. I mean,
and the EP.
I'm not a big Mindcrime guy.
I mean, think about shit like off of The Warning, like End Forces, Master of Races.
Everything off The Warning is a fucking banger.
Warning is Deliverance or Roads to Madness.
Yeah.
Roads to Madness. What a song, man.
Shit.
I do like Mindcrime, but it's over commercialized.
All right at best, honestly.
It's over commercialized and
all right at best.
Yeah, that's when they started to become too commercial. I mean, like the album Empire, you're gonna put me on. The album Empire has a couple good songs on it, like Della Brown and Is There Anybody Listening and stuff like that. The problem is that they just became, the success of Silent Lucidity kind of was like, kind of spelled doom. You know what I mean? There's the song on, and Des, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but the song on Rage for Order, I Will Remember, blows away Silent Lucidity every fucking moment of every day. It's dark, it's fucking evil sounding. Tate is just,
Take Hold of the Flame, man. That's the fucking jam on that fucking record.
Yeah.
Such a fucking great song.
Queensryche 3. What's Queensryche 3?
I don't know.
I don't know what do you mean by that, Aaron? QRIII? Queensryche 3?
Oh,
talking about Rage?
Quiet Riot 3.
Oh, Quiet Riot 3. Okay.
Quiet Riot rules, man.
Yeah, Quiet Riot 3 kind of sucks.
I don't know about Quiet Riot 3. I like the first album.
Wait. Did Paul Shortino sing on Quiet Riot 3?
I think he did. I think he might have. Which is funny because I sent you that video of King Cobra today that was laughably bad. Oh, my God.
God, so bad.
All right, Quiet Riot 3. Gotcha. All right. I'm not really familiar with that album, but I do know Paul Shortino sang it. So, man, Queen of the Reich, though. Man. God. And the lyrics are so good, man.
Yeah,
in the dead of night, she'll come and take you away. Oh, my God. Searing beams of light and thunder. Right. Tate was just the fucking boss back then. Now he's kind of a weirdo joke, but not that I don't follow what he's doing anymore. And he came to town here after the COVID sort of thing lifted. And, man, it was like, I don't know, man. I'm not going. I actually had a chance to go for free. Somebody's like, hey, I'll take you. I'm like, I don't think I really want to watch him, man.
Yeah. So, does he sing Queensryche songs now or what?
Yeah, he does the old stuff. And frankly, he had a heart bypass surgery or something, and he sounds a little better now. But the band has tracks. They're loaded with fucking vocal tracks that are backing everything. So who knows what's really real? The guitar doesn't even sound real. The drums don't. The drummer's playing one of them fucking like seriously one of those what do they call them? They're not even it's not even a drum head. It's like a pad that something. So it's all synthetic drums, and it's like, why do I want to go watch that? I don't want to watch that, you know. But I don't know. You guys got HMs?
Yeah,
Or
of
did
course.
you just stop there?
No, dude, I got a lot more.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're on our HMs here, and I'm gonna go with one that is in the 2000. Oh wait, no, probably the mid to late 90s. So now we're into grunge, and I'm not gonna make any excuses. I'm not a massive grunge fan, but I love Alice in Chains, who I consider more of a metal or hard rock band than I do a grunge band. And I love Soundgarden, man. Not making any apologies for it. I fucking love Soundgarden. And most people be like, oh, he's going to pick something off Bad Motor Finger like Jesus Christ Pose or Rusty Cage or Outshined or, you know, something like that. Nope. Not going to do that. And I'm not going to go pick Black Hole Sun or Fell on Black Days or Limo Wreck or July 4th or all great songs. All great songs. I don't care what anybody says. Super Unknown's a killer album. If you don't like it, I can't fucking help you. I don't know what to tell you. But there's a song going back in the catalog. I did some back listening, and god damn it, off of Ultra Mega OK. The song is Far Beyond the Wheel. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. The heaviest fucking, to me, it's the heaviest Soundgarden song, period. Chris's vocals on this song, I don't know, man. They're like only dogs can hear them, and me for some reason. Like there's the screams he does, which I cannot remotely try to emulate. Those who wait, I don't even know the words. I'm a poser. I don't know the words. Man, when he goes up into that upper fucking range, man, it's a 5-octave range, I believe that he's, or 3-octave range. Is it 5 or 3? 4-octave range that Chris could do. And man, he starts out super low and he just goes so fucking high. You don't know this one, do you, Dennis?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Bro, check out that album, Ultra Mega OK. Check out the Screaming Life EP, which has Hunted Down, which is killer. And also the song, oh god damn it was my other choice. Fuck, what was it called? Oh my god, it's right there. I'm getting it confused with the hang on, I got it here. Nothing to Say. He's got nothing to say. You've got nothing to say. I can't do man. Sound awful there, but man, Slaves and Bulldozers, killer. That's a killer. That was probably the track off Bad Motor Finger I was honing in on with Slaves and Bulldozers, but had to go with Far Beyond the Wheel. It's just a monster banger. And you know, even like I said, man, Limo Wreck, The Day I Tried to Live, just like Suicide, man, there's a lot of killer tracks on that album. Love that, man.
Definitely need to check it out. You have any
all right, so that's one of my.
You got tons of honorable mentions. Just start pulling them out of the stack.
Okay. Well, I'll pull mine out first. I'm going Holocaust, Small Hours.
Oh, wow.
Man, love that song. Just a fucking great, another like epic song about a haunting, actually.
Holocaust is fucking sick, man. I love that album by Holocaust, too.
Yeah.
Fucking
Night Riders, Nightcomers. Is that Nightcomers?
Think so. I fucking forget the name of the album, but the album's sick.
Such a great record. But but for me, Small Hours. And again, Metallica covered this. Metallica covered a lot of fucking Holocaust songs. And Death or Glory, I think 6 Feet Under covered that song too.
Classic. I like 6 Feet Under. People can throw shade. I like 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, I think we have to throw him off the podcast now, Dennis. That's kind of the end.
That's the end. Nah, I love Chris Barnes. Chris Barnes is a dope vocalist, man. I love Cannibal Corpse, old school Cannibal Corpse. It's my shit.
Oh yeah, it's Nightcomers. So this EP EP came out when Nightcomers was coming out, because you can see the
Nice.
fucking record right there, but or this live album. But I think this was 82. This live album came out, or it was recorded in 82. But
Right.
yeah, that album, just that song, Small Hours. It's on the 598 EP by Metallica as well. But man, check that song out if you haven't heard it. Just a great new wave of British heavy metal song. And Holocaust in general has so many
Holocaust
great songs.
is fucking
Smoking
dope,
Valves
man.
is a killer song. Heavy Metal Mania, of course. Just, yeah, man. Classic heavy metal. New wave of British heavy metal that everyone should know. If you don't, check it out. What do you got? Anything, Damien?
I don't got any honorable mentions pulled. I just pulled my top 20.
All right.
Damn him.
All right, it's back to
You didn't get the note from the old man that the other really old man was going wild?
I should have pulled a bunch of my records, but I didn't. It's like I thought it was a 20.
All right, man. I should have had these guys in the top 20. I missed this one. But it's okay. It's an outlier, but that's not a problem. So
I'll have to pull Mendez Prey up on my phone.
yeah, pull some stuff up on your phone.
Yeah,
so
man.
you got in the LA scene in the 80s, you got the Rats, you got the Crews, you got the Dawkins, you got, the Bang Tangos, all those bands, right? You got Striper as Rock's Regime, all that shit. And you had one band that was kind of darker and a little more fucked up and way more evil. For all of Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil stuff, it always kind of seemed to me kind of hokey. And I like that album. I like Shout at the Devil and I like Too Fast for Love, but not something I reach for a lot. But this album, The Headless Children from Wasp. And
Nice.
we gotta go with the title fucking track, The Headless
That album
Children.
is fucking awesome, man.
It is killer. That opening, not the opening, but that title track, The Headless Children, man, it is so good. And I gotta say, of all those vocalists from that era, Blackie just smokes all the rest of those dudes. And I like Dokken. A lot of people are like, Dokken sounds too weak.
Dokken rules, man. Tooth and Nail, you can't go wrong with fucking Tooth and Nail. That's a fucking badass album.
But
Hard not
Blackie
to put on my list.
But Blackie was serious shit, man. I mean, you can talk about the first album with Love Machine, which is great. Love Machine, Love. By the way, Dennis, pull me out a sec. I got to tell you this. The Love Machine thing. Do you remember when we were talking about, I think it was you that brought it up. That sounds like Love Machine for the 7 hours from Fifth Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that 7 hours to dead?
Yep.
So I brought it up to all the guys when I did the interview on the 4th. I'm like, hey, I really like that song on Time Will Tell. I think it's called Love Machine. And Ken looks at me for a minute. I'm like, the one goes, Love. And Ed just looks at me like, what? And then he's like, oh, shit. And then they noticed. They went, oh, my God, it does sound a lot like that. And then when I talked to Ed, I brought it up again. He's like, I swear to God, man, it was not. It's just one of those things. The riff came and the melody came. Headless Children, Wasp, man. Fucking killer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great fucking record. All right. I'm going to go. I thought I had this and then I took it off because I was putting other stuff off.
Yeah.
Except Restless and Wild and fucking Fast as a Shark, man.
Gotta do Fast as a Shark. Yep.
Gotta, man. Such a fucking, that's like the prelude to fucking thrash metal.
Yep.
Like, get that intro with the and
the beer hall shit. Yeah.
Just that riff, that like that. Yeah, man. That's the fucking thrash metal riff right there.
And I mean, you could have gone Balls to the Wall, of course, because that was the huge hit, right?
Yeah.
And I love that song. I
love that song
record too.
Good album.
I mean, I love all that early Accept shit, but this,
it's a killer track though.
Metal Heart is fucking sick.
Yeah.
There's a killer track. I don't think it's on that one. I think it's on Balls to the Wall. But Russian Winter.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's
killer
on
track. Yeah.
What is
Good pick.
I don't know what album. And I think it's on like the one after Balls. No, after Metal Heart.
Oh, Metal Heart. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this is a ripper record, and Fast as a Shark is a fucking banger.
Monster track, no doubt.
You got something, Damien?
Yeah, we'll pull up the fucking Mendez Prey if you can see it on this. It's kind of too bright.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, with the bird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the bird with like the guitar and its fucking claws. The Mendez Prey, fucking sick, man. I like all the fucking tracks off this fucking album. It's like it was recorded in the 80s, but it got released in like the 2000s. It's a really weird album. Like they have like a couple tracks like fucking Running for You, I know, is one of their early single tracks that they put out and shit, but like they finally put out the album in like 2014. But it's got all sick ass songs on it. I think my favorite track off that album would be Lone Survivor. That shit is sick, man.
All right, Mendez Prey.
I should know that one better, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just found out about that like 2 weeks ago from him. So
yeah, I had to play this for Pops, but it's a great album, man.
Yep.
Have to listen to it if you're into old school heavy metal. And it's just like it was released way after its time. That's the main problem with it. Like there's like 3 songs they put out on like singles and shit like that, but then fucking they went in with like their album.
All right.
Yeah.
I had to do it, man. I have to do it.
All right. Oh shit. Here we go.
Icon off the album Night of the Crime.
Oh,
where am I going, Dennis? Where am I going? There's one monster standout track. It's a AOR album all the way through except for one song on there. Which one is it?
Wide Are Their Eyes?
No, that would be the other heavier track. Yeah, I forgot about that one. The other one is the real long guitar intro. Remember?
What the fuck is that song called?
I'm out for blood. I'm out for your blood.
Wide Are Their Eyes are the only good songs on that record.
Oh, fuck you. Now shut up now. You are so wrong. That album is a classic AOR classic.
Now, that album is good. Pops is kind of talking shit.
Come on.
The first one. He likes the first one a lot. And I get it because the first one's great. I just don't think it has a standout track like Night of the Crime does. Out for Blood is just a beast, man. The guitar playing on it's killer. The vocals are super fucking badass. I know what I want. I know I'm going to get it. I'm out for blood. I'm out for your blood. Oh, it's so fucking good, man. Love that track. All right.
Where are we going? Let's go. Well, let's just do this one then. I'm going to go Icon.
You got to go with that. I mean, I don't approve, man.
And this, for me, man, this album fucking rips. And you guys know I love this album. But
I'm going to be curious to see which track you pick.
I'm going World War.
That's the one I was going to go with, dude.
World War.
I'm in a world war.
1994.
That's right. 1995. Yeah, great.
Man, such a banger of a track. But this whole album is just a fucking
rock and roll maniac off of that.
Yeah, rock and roll maniac, dude.
Hot Desert Nights, right? Hot Desert Nights.
Hot Desert Nights is fucking sick.
Under My Gun.
Oh, Under My Gun rules.
Rock On Through the Night, man.
Rock On Through. I mean, I'm telling you right now, though, they were definitely one of the prettiest bands of that era.
I mean, yeah, man.
I mean, look at all that. Look at that girl on the bottom with the blonde hair. I mean, the guy on the bottom with the blonde hair.
Yeah, I went out with her for 2 times, but
I bet you did.
Something didn't go right.
Something didn't feel right?
No.
All right, man. Killer pick. I was there, but I had to go with my favorite Icon song, which is Out for Blood off the weaker album to you. I think it's just as good, but it's a different album. It's very polished and very radio friendly, but I fucking love that album. Okay. What do I have up next? Oh, speaking of which, Damien said this, so I'm going to pull this one up. Is it me or you, Damien?
I think it might be me, but it's all good if you want to pull one up right now.
Yeah, if you want me to throw a couple up while you pull some out.
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, you mentioned, I mentioned the band, and you mentioned this album. I love this fucking album.
I love that album, man.
Killer album. So is the first album. So is the one after this. So is the one after that. And then they kind of started to shit the bed a lot. But on this album, a lot of great songs. Could be, Bullets to Spare. It could be fucking, what's the one? Just Got Lucky. It could be Alone Again. It could be, what's the one in the middle? Damn it, I forget the name of it. Hold on. Oh, it could be Into the Fire. I love that song.
Fire is the badass.
Into the fire. Into the fire.
You better pick the right one on this one, Geoff.
Okay, I gotta go. There's two I could go with here.
What is it? When Heaven Falls Down or something?
When Heaven Comes Down.
Heaven comes down, yeah.
Man, that's like my favorite for sure.
That's not what I'm gonna pick, dude, but I love that song. I'm going Tooth and Nail.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the reason I'm going with that is George motherfucking Lynch, man. George motherfucking Lynch. That guy just absolutely explodes on here. And I was really dancing with the idea of going with Kiss of Death or Mr. Scary. And Mr. Scary is scary. I can play little bits of it, not the whole thing. But man, I had to go with Tooth and Nail. That intro, and then that solo, man. George Lynch just goes insane on that solo. One of the best solos ever in a guitar, in a metal song. And to me, this is a metal song. So I'm going Tooth and Nail off Dawkins. Tooth and Nail.
Fair enough.
Sick. Great song. Great album, man.
Killer album, man.
I love that record.
Even the poppier shit, even the ballad, Alone Again. Killer with that
the
solo.
whole album is, again, that's one of those ones you can play all the way through, and it's excellent.
Turn on the action. Bullets to Spare. Heartless Heart.
Fun fact, I actually had that recorded on the B-side of Hell Awaits from Slayer. I listened to both of them it didn't matter to me. Like, that's how it was back then. It was just it didn't matter. Like, Hell Awaits and Dawkins, like, there was no like, oh, that's not like Slayer or whatever, because it didn't matter back then.
Could you imagine? I won't name any names, but let's just say you're driving in a car with a certain guy back in 1986 or 5, right?
Yeah.
And you throw in that mixtape of Hell Awaits and you pop it over on the Dawkins side, and this guy says, "What the fuck is wrong with you, you pink panty wearing hoser douche canoe, blank, blank, blankety, blank, blank, blank."
Yeah, I'd just be like, no.
It just didn't happen back then. It did not happen, man.
There was, that guy's like, he's not even, I don't even know if he's like 40 years old. So it doesn't
he's in his late 30s. Yeah. And and the thing is that my point, and we're talking about J-Dog, obviously. Sorry, J-Dog. We're shitting on you, but we're not shitting on you. We get it. You're younger. You weren't around back then. And you really don't know what it was like. So when Dennis and I were 50 plus, me close to 60, okay, when we started listening to this shit in the fucking early 80s, mid 80s, there was none of this. You can't listen to fucking Bauhaus if you listen to this. You can't listen to, that No Life Till Leather demo and not listen to fucking Triumph or a Rush. You just didn't do that. It didn't matter.
It all melded them because that was how it was, because that was the scene. There was no like, granted, like 84, 85, you got, when glam came out, that was like the outlier, because that was like, you listen to fucking, whatever, Rat. I listened to fucking Exodus. Then you started to have those kind of, boundaries. But that was
Bay. You're right. Probably the Bay Area started to institute some of that. Like, oh, that's LA glam poser bullshit. That's probably where it came from.
Right. But honestly, Geoff, it wasn't the music. It was the image. It was
Well,
like
it was the scene, right?
Yeah, it was like you have like all the hair, and I'm not into music. I'm into getting girls.
I'm
And
into
then
the
you had,
look. I'm into
right,
the
and
look.
then you
Yeah.
had the guys that were like, "What the fuck?" Like, dude, I'm just trying to fucking play in a band and make music, and this is what I want to do.
Yeah, because the funny irony of that, Dennis, is that a lot of those guys like Gary Holt and Hugh Nold and fucking Chuck, Billy, and all those guys, guess what? They generally love bands like Rat
Right.
and Dokken and Motley Crue, and they
Well,
love
because
that music. They
that
love
was
the
what
music.
the thing was.
They love the
Yeah, that's
music.
what
They didn't like
inspired
going.
them to play, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
And now they'll tell you that too. They're like, "Well, we like those bands. It wasn't the music; it was the scene."
It was the look.
Like, right. It was the look and the scene. Like, about like, hey, come see us, blah blah blah. It's like that's not what we're fucking about. We're about the music. We're not about like just making music to get girls. And that's what it was turning into. That kind of was the backlash.
Yeah, because a lot of that 80s glam metal really started to become super polished. The radio, the radio stations and the record companies got behind that shit and pushed it and made it into this thing. And it was more about the image and the scene than it was about the actual music. And the good bands like Dokken and Rat kind of moved beyond it. The bands that were pretty mediocre, like, to be honest with you, Motley Crue, they just kind of treaded water for a while until actually they got probably their best albums with Karabi, and it went nowhere. Nobody liked them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good point.
Yep. All right. My next pick, I'm going to go, Warrior.
Yeah.
Obviously fighting for the earth, man.
Fighting for the earth.
Oh, my God.
Because we are fighting for the earth.
Such a
I can't do that high scream that. We are fighting for the earth.
But yeah, man, another one like
great one.
A lot of people don't know about, but this album is just a banger, dude.
Yeah, what year was that? 83?
I want to say 83, definitely.
Yeah, and think about what all was coming out there. They were pretty much forgotten about. They had Joe, what's his name? Joe Floyd on guitars.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Asian guy, what was the Asian guy's name?
Oh shit, I can't read that.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Tommy Asakawa.
Yeah, and they had Perry McCarthy singing, man. That guy's voice was crazy good.
Yeah, dude.
Great album.
Great record that especially Fighting for the Earth. Again, so many fucking transitions. Just a man. I don't know, man.
That album is sick,
stuff,
man.
This was like the stuff coming out that was like next level, that like just had that like so many different like layers to the songs that just it made you like it got you sucked into those like songs, and this was one of them for sure. But this record just fucking rules, man. I used to listen to this and Loudness, those like fucking just bangers, man. Got anything, Damien?
We'll throw up the Gotham City. If you can see it on my phone. That's always the hard part with your phone. You can never fucking see the album cover. Gotham City. That shit's dope. You got the Swords and Chains. That's probably my favorite track off the album, but every track off this album is fucking dope. It's some Swedish heavy metal on a little bit different than what we've been going on for a while. But fucking Swedish heavy metal fucking kills it, man.
Yeah,
I really love the vocals, and I really love the guitar work on this album. Fucking sick, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. You heard that one, Geoff?
Yeah. What was it again? Sorry.
Gotham City.
No, is that a newer band, right?
It's not. No, it's from the 84 is when this fucking came out.
Shit. No, I don't know that one. I thought I heard that.
It's like a dude with an axe on the cover. Pretty cool fucking album, man. Gotta get into that shit. I like all the songs on that album. Swords and Chains would probably be the number one that I'd mention. But there's definitely doper songs on that album too.
Yeah, great record. All right, Geoff.
I'm trying to find the freaking album. Hold on. All right. So you mentioned this guy a little while back. When you talked about Merciful Fate, it took me 18 years to kind of get into King's voice. When I say kind of, what I mean by that is that I can only take King for so long. I can do about an album length, and then I kind of start to chuckle a little bit. And actually, I chuckle the whole time that he's singing. But I used to be like, turn that shit off. I cannot stand that fucking Muppet's voice. Stop it. But I came around on it, and one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite King song, is off this album, Conspiracy, and the song is Sleepless Nights.
Nice.
Man, I love that track. And I would also say, in tandem with that, A Dangerous Meeting off of Don't Break the Oath.
Yeah,
the music that is always behind King is mind-bending. Merciful Fate, just some of the most inventive, creative, melodic, but heavy and sinister riffs ever. And obviously Abigail and Them and
Them for me. I love Them.
I love Them. Yeah,
great.
Abigail 2 is kind of not as good. I would say after Them is where I kind of start to lose a little steam with King. I only own maybe 4 or 5 King albums. This is probably my favorite, although I really do love Abigail. The music is just stunning. King's storytelling, amazing.
Yep.
King's falsetto, have to grin and bear it sometimes because I just want to crack up laughing. But there's no doubt this guy is a legend. Merciful Fate legends. Was super fucking bummed I didn't get to go see them back in November, but it was, I was still not sure what was up with COVID with my medical condition. I didn't want to take the chance, and I didn't go. And now I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass. I wish I'd gone. So, yeah, fucking Sleepless Nights, Conspiracy, King.
Yeah, great pick. All right. Got something, Damien?
Pull something up.
All right, I'll go.
By the way, while they're talking there, I just want to let everybody know, virtually everything that I picked, I'm not going to say every single song, but I'd say 95% of everything that I picked, I actually own hard copies, store-bought CDs of all these bands. I just didn't pull everything. We talked about it earlier. I kind of screwed up there. I did not pull everything, so that's why I'm showing pictures, but I own most of it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go Gravedigger, Heavy Metal.
Oh, yeah.
And the song Heavy Metal Breakdown. Just a fucking banger. I love Headbanging Man, Storm in the Brain, Tyrant, Legion of the Lost. But, man, Heavy Metal Breakdown, such a killer song. Great fucking record. I love this record. Even the second one was badass. I forgot what it's called. Witch Hunter or something like that. But, yeah, it's a fucking banger,
Yeah, the Gravedigger's dope.
But, I remember buying this. I just bought it based on the record cover. And I was not disappointed. I was like, oh, shit, this is a fucking banger of a record. And this came out. This is on Megaforce.
What year is that?
I'm trying to look. I don't see a date. I want to say 83.
5?
Maybe 85. There's no date on the back, so. I want to say 85 sounds right, honestly. You see a date on that?
Probably on the back of the record.
No, it's not on there.
What's the name of that album? I'm sorry.
Heavy Metal Breakdown.
84. We were close.
Yeah, right in between. But yeah.
As I remember, Witch Hunter and War Games are pretty good too, right?
Yeah, War Games. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
that one's killer too. Love that record.
What's up, Eric? I did not choose any Voivod, crazily. I didn't. That's kind of nuts.
It's too thrashy.
Yeah.
No, just, you know what? I missed them. I should have something in there. If I was going Voivod, I would probably go, believe it or not, a song that nobody would pick. But for me, it would come off Angel Rat, and it would be the song The Prowl. I fucking love that song. Kind of almost poppy, actually, in a weird way. All right. Damien, did you throw one up?
Noise. I agree with that. Voivod is noise.
No,
Praying Mantis.
what is up with this
City.
kid, man?
He doesn't like the Voivod.
I like Voivod.
No.
It's all right, but I don't think it's like top tier or anything like that. Voivod is okay for me. I'm gonna go with Praying Mantis, Captured City. None of us have this, but this is one of my top fucking heavy metal tracks. If I could pick it, if we had it, like that fucking song is so sick. It's one of Praying Mantis's first songs. Like they put it, it was their big hit before they had any records or anything like that. And they never put it on a record for whatever reason. But that song is fucking straight badass, man. The transition right in the middle of that song. Like the fucking riff in that shit is insane. Love that shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Good pick, man.
Yeah.
None of us were gonna pick. Yeah.
Fucking that Praying Mantis record's killer too.
Do you have that one, Dennis? You have that one, don't you?
No, all I have is a live album.
Oh, wow. No shit.
Yep.
All right. None of us have mentioned this band. I'm kind of shocked, so I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to do the album that most people would pick, and I'm not going to do the song that most people would pick, even though I love it. This is my favorite album by this band, and the title track is my favorite song by this band. Motorhead, Orgasmatron. And I fucking love I Am the One, Orgasmatron. Fucking love that track. And this has Dead Forever and Riding with the Driver.
Yeah,
and
Dead Forever is dope, man. I love that song.
Yeah, fucking killer track. This also has what's the other song here? I can't think of the name of Mean Machines on here, Built for Speed. Dr. Rock, fuck yeah, dude. This album
like, Bomber is probably my favorite fucking Motorhead album.
Bomber
is dope, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great album. I was gonna go with Ace of Spades, but I'm like, no, man, I like Orgasmatron better. And let's be honest, man, fucking Ace of Spades, it's a classic.
It's
track
played out.
It's played out, and everyone would pick it, right? But it's still a great track. But Orgasmatron is the one, man. Frederick and I are thinking alike. Yeah. Scary, man. If Frederick and I are thinking alike, that means the end of the world is nigh.
It's over. It's over, dude.
It's over.
All right. I'm going with this one. I'm going fucking Tokyo Blade.
Yeah, man. Tokyo Blade is sick.
Nice pick.
Yeah, and I'm going song on here, If Heaven is Hell. Just a fucking
gotta go with that song.
Man, again, another fist banging classic. This whole record's just a fist banging classic, but if I had to pick a song, I'd go If Heaven is Hell. I love Break the Chains too. Killer City, Sunrise in Tokyo is a banger too. But man, love this record. Love pretty much all the Tokyo Blade shit. But yeah, man, this one definitely an honorable mention. Probably should have been on my list, but for some reason got cut out. But what are you going to do when you got only 20 songs? But yeah, Tokyo Blade.
That's a great pick, Dennis. I kind of forgot about them. Very new album, or they are new wave of British heavy metal, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking up.
All right, what do you got?
You got me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We talked about some of the LA bands, right? And of course, you know, for me, I pretty much shot my wad. Wasp, Dokken, and this band were my three favorite bands. And at many points, this band was probably my favorite for two reasons. One, they just wrote kick-ass fucking songs. Two, they had a hotshot monster guitarist that, if you're a guitar player, you know this guy. If you know the LA, metal scene, you know this guy. But a lot of people don't talk about him outside of that anymore. He's kind of gone into hiding a little bit here, I guess. But I am talking about this band. I'm talking about Rat, and I am talking about, yes, not the first album with all the big hits, not the second album with a bunch of big hits. I'm talking this album, man, the third album, Dancing Undercover. And there are It's not as good as the first two albums by far. However, there are a couple tracks on here that absolutely fucking kick ass. And my favorite Rat song, can you guess it, Dennis?
I don't even know that record.
You don't know this album?
Does that have like Good Boy Jr. or something on it?
No, that's the fourth album. Yeah, what the hell is that called? Way Cool Jr.
There you go.
No, this has Dance, One Good Lover, Drive Me Crazy, Slip of the Lip, Slip of the Lip. And then my song, which I'm going to say in a minute, Looking for Love, 7th Avenue, It Doesn't Matter, Taking a Chance. It's not that great. It's good, but it's not great. I love the album, but it's not as good as the first two albums. But the one track on here that's the standout motherfucking banger.
Yeah.
Body talk, gonna make your body talk, gonna make your body talk when you're next to me. Great fucking song. I don't like feeling. Body Talk, slamming fucking track off this album. Probably my favorite fucking Rat tune, and I like a lot of Rat tunes. Marty has entered the chat. The Rat and Halloween fan has entered the chat, and he's making himself known.
Yeah. That's all you had to do was mention Dancing Undercover.
Yeah,
Dancing Undercover brought him out.
Halloween ain't bad. Halloween's fucking sick, man.
It's like I rat whispered Marty out of his lair.
You fucking rat whisperer.
I rat whispered him out. All right. Body Talk. Dancing Undercover. Rat.
All right. I don't even fucking know that song, but
you gotta check that album out, dude. It's not bad at all.
You sure I have to check that out?
They kind of started to suck after that with Reach for the Sky. That was kind of like not so good. And then I think Infestation's good, but I've never listened to it. I've been told it's good.
I'm going to pick this album, but it actually doesn't have the song.
Was that Def Leppard?
You just fucking ruined it, dude. I'm going high and dry, but the song I really like from this era is Me and My Wine, which isn't on this record. It's
Wait,
like,
what's it called?
Me and My Wine.
Oh, yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
But I think it's only on a EP or a 45, but it was...
It might be on Retrospective, which has a bunch of stuff on it from there.
But it was the same time period. But man, that song... This album fucking rips, dude. I mean...
Dude, start to finish, man. Read those tracks off.
Oh, shit, dude. High and Dry, Saturday Night.
Let It Go.
You Got Me Running. Let It Go.
Oh.
Another Hit and Run, dude.
My favorite. That's my favorite Def Leppard track.
Fucking Lady Strange.
Lady Strange.
On Through the Night.
Mirror, Mirror.
Mirror, Mirror. No, and Bringing on the Fucking Heartbreak.
Oh, Bringing on the Heartbreak with Switch 625.
Yeah, dude. They fucking played that shit live.
I saw him on the album after. No, the next, not this one, but I saw him on Pyromania with Gary Moore and Crocus opening 1983. That was killer. Gary Moore was fucking badass. And then you got Marty said Me and My Wine's on Through the Night.
Oh, okay.
Which is that's the first album. Yeah.
Banger track,
dude. Doesn't that has Foolin', right?
No, that's Pyromania.
Oh, it's on Pyromania?
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
But yeah, dude, I like this album better than On Through. I love On Through the Night, but I think this album's like a better all in all.
Oh, I agree. Yep, by far.
Yeah, I love Me and My Wine, but that song rips. And yeah, this one, fuck, man. I love this record. Always, all right, I'm going to tell a story.
Here we go.
Time.
So we had this contest in school. I think it was like elementary school, where we had to sell candy bars. And the more candy bars you sold, you got like a prize. And one of my prizes was I got one cassette tape and a Togo sandwich. This is the cassette tape I picked because I had Pyromania, and I picked this as my cassette tape, never hearing anything off this record. I was just like, oh, it's Def Leppard. I got to buy this. So I got this, and a Togo sandwich was a barbecue beef sandwich. Best day of my life. Fucking rules.
Cool. That's a great album.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, that almost brought me to tears, man.
It should. Just a banger. What do you got, Damien? You got something?
Damien, you got something?
Gotta throw up the Blitzkrieg. Fucking gonna be hard to see on my phone once again. Blitzkrieg, this is the demo of Blitzkrieg. Fucking Armageddon is the track off this fucking
There you
album. Blitzkrieg is a dope ass song. Inferno is a dope ass song, but Armageddon is probably the best song off this album or the EP. And fucking should listen to it, man. If you like Metallica and shit like that, this is where they basically got their sound. Them and Diamond Head.
Yeah.
Straight up stole that shit. But Armageddon, that song is sick, man. That fucking transition to like the riff at the end of Armageddon, insane. Fucking dope shit.
Yeah, that's Blitzkrieg, man. That's a hard one to get to, but yeah, that's a killer record.
Good choice. Good choice. Not one I would have picked, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So back too long ago, dude. We got to get the fucking Metal Gems series fired up like post haste because we let that slip a little bit. But I don't know if it was the last one we did or the one before, but I think it might have been the last one. We talked about Michael Schenker.
Yeah.
And absolutely a song that will go with me to my grave. A song that when I hear it transports me to 9th grade because this was 81, I think it came out. 80 or 81. Is it 80? 81, September of 81. And I don't think I heard it until the fall. Like it was, I remember it was snowing and we were just driving, me and my buddy, and this song, I don't know whether he had the tape. I don't know whether it came on the radio. It might have been the radio, but it seems to me it was a tape because I remember looking at I remember looking at the cassette. But it didn't have this artwork. That's the weird thing. This is either the original artwork or revision. I'm not sure. But the album is Michael Schenker Group. The song, Dennis, what do you think, man? You know.
Michael the OG? Why does that have a weird album cover?
Yeah, I know. It's the second album. It's not the first album.
Yeah.
It's the first album was Michael Schenker Group. The second was MSG, and I always thought the MSG album had the guitar thing on it.
Yeah, it did.
But that's not what's coming up. So I don't know if this is an alternate album cover or whatever. Anyway, man, the song, so many goddamn good songs on here. You got Attack of the Mad Axeman. You got Ready to Rock. Yeah. You got Secondary Motion, Looking for Love, Never Trust a Stranger. Killer album. But one song on here blows them all away. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Oh, no. I had it up and now I don't have it up anymore. God damn it. Hold on. The song is On and On.
Oh, yeah.
And it is fucking killer. And, of course, I pull it up and it's some fucking Erykah Badu or something, man. So you got a kiss of the wind and the spirits they fly to the coldness of the sun. I got no place to hide, nowhere to run. On and on and on and on and on. Fucking banger of a track. Possibly, I don't know why. This song should have been in my top 20. What the fuck? See? You guys put a lot of pressure on me and I fucked up. That song belonged in my top 20. I love that song. It is just that creepy keyboard that comes in at the beginning. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, just fucking masterpiece. And
yeah, dude.
There's other songs like Lost Horizon and Into the Arena. Man, those first 4 Michael Schenker albums, if you don't own them, there is absolutely something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah, great records. All right. I'm going to go with one that we were talking about earlier, but this is my pick for the band we were talking about, or you were talking about. Oh, shit, backwards. Y&T.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the song on this, for me, is Rescue Me.
Is that the long one?
Yeah.
That's the long one. That song kicks balls.
Yes, man. That's such a badass song. It starts out with that guitar. Oh man, so fucking such a badass song.
I'll tell you what, those first 5 or 6 Y&T albums, man, damn near untouchable heavy hard rock, man. Just so fucking great.
Yeah,
and again, we talked about it earlier when I brought it up as my first pick forever. Dave Meniketti, what a voice. Meniketti, however you say his name. What a killer goddamn fucking voice.
Right? Man.
And a guitar player. He's a smoking guitar player.
Right? Super underrated. Never got like the credit. I mean, yeah, they had like, what was that song? Summer Girls or something like that?
Yeah, Summertime Girls, yeah.
They had a little bit of a hit with that, which
little bit of a lameness on that song, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still a cool song.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I don't blame him, dude. He'd been in the business for a long time, slogging. Yeah. Why not try to get a hit? You know.
Mean Streak. That's my favorite song.
Mean Streak.
Thrasher be Thrash, mentioning it.
Mean Street's killer.
I love that. Yep. I like that whole album with the fucking cobra on the front of it.
Yeah, like we were saying, those first like 5 albums are great. All right, what do you got?
I already put up the Blitzkrieg. Nah, I gotta find another album.
All right.
Hang on now.
You ready, Geoff?
Yeah, I'm looking up the cover. Hang on. There, got it.
All right.
All right, in the 70s. We're going back to the 70s, kids, because I'm an old man, and that's where I cut my teeth on this shit. And I will contend that the 70s is the classic era of hard rock. I'm not saying metal, because really it wasn't quite metal back then, although that's where it has its origins. And one of the bands that I would contend is kind of a progenitor, if you want to call it proto metal, definitely hard rock, is this band, UFO. We just talked about Michael Schenker.
Yep.
Oh, God damn it. The album Phenomenon, I believe.
That's a good album.
No, it's Lights Out. I'm sorry. And the track itself, man, I struggled. Did I want to go with, there's a number of their songs I could have gone with, right? Rock Bottom obviously has that killer fucking riff and, the killer chorus, and Doctor Doctor, which Iron Maiden uses for every one of their songs as their intro song, Doctor Doctor, please. But, man, I got to go Lights Out, bro. I got to go fucking Lights Out. Lights Out and Strangers in the Night, the live album that came after this. Oh. So this is a band that if I'm going to be around for a bit yet, which apparently my doctor says I will yesterday, longer than I expected, to be honest with you, this is a band I got to do a deep dive on. I got to do a Michael Schenker, Paul Chapman era UFO deep dive because it fucking rules. This music just fucking rules. And Lights Out, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just goddamn, what a killer fucking song. Lights Out.
Deep Purple, man. I think fucking Burn was really close to making it for me, but it's on like that border for like
which one?
And heavy metal. Burn for Deep Purple.
Oh, I got Deep Purple on here.
I love that album. This guy's saying no Deep Purple, Thrasher be thrashed. But yeah, we'll have Deep Purple at some point. Geoff's got it, and I think
got
Burn is a fucking great album, man. I love that shit.
But, well, see, Eric, hang on, put that up. So, Eric, if you'd been here from the beginning, you'd understand that unfortunately, I was kind of caught flat-footed. I own all these albums. I just unfortunately I can't dig through closets in my condition and pull out 50 albums. I just couldn't do it. So
I should have pulled.
I didn't want to have to call you, Eric.
Album that I like.
I didn't want to have to call Eric and have Eric come on and be my album showing guy. So I did explain why I'm showing them on my phone. I didn't want to do that, but I do own all these albums.
Plus, these are honorable mentions. So.
Yeah, the only ones I'm showing on my phone right now are like fucking obscure shit.
Well, the funny thing is too, Eric, we did our top 20, and now we've got like 35 honorable mentions left.
And also, I have never shown anything on my phone.
He's only shown albums.
He won't show shit on his phone. I'm gonna show something on my phone though. The Hollow Ground.
Oh yeah.
The Hollow Ground, that fucking album, badass, man. fucking another one that released later than it like actually was recorded. It was like recorded in the 80s, came out in like mid 2000s. Fucking dope shit, man. Warlord off that, man. Like all these fucking songs, like Don't Chase the Dragon, that's probably my favorite track off that album. But there's some dope ass tracks on that, and it's like it's kind of like shit that nobody's ever really heard because it's so like in between the times, people really don't look for it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do one actual record. This is Vicious Rumors, and on this one, I'm going with the song "Murder." This is another great fucking record. If you guys haven't heard Vicious Rumors, obviously a heavy metal band from, I think these guys were from LA. I'm not super positive. But yeah, really good fucking straight traditional heavy metal. Murder. Yeah, it's a fucking banger, dude. Just another one of those like kind of like almost new wave of British heavy metal songs, but has a little something different to it. So yeah, man, just a fucking banger of a record. If you guys haven't heard this one, check it out for sure. Vicious Rumors and Soldiers of the Night.
Nice. I asked Aaron and Eric if they'll pull all the rest of my honorable mention.
All of them.
We might be here till fucking like 3 a.m. Just hold tight, all right? All right. Did anyone mention? I can't hold on. I'm looking at my list to see if. All right. So here's another proto hard rock band, right? And I gotta go with. Hold on, man. Oops, shit. This is a band that I don't know has like 9 million albums out, and quite frankly, I kind of never tried to keep up with their stuff after the very early 70s stuff. But this would be a proto hard rock, proto maybe metal, quasi metal. There's some pretty good heavy riffs in a lot of these songs. This album in particular is probably their big one that everybody talks about, and for a good reason. It's a fucking killer album. But on this album, the whole album's bangers. But this, Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards.
Nice.
And I've got to go Rainbow Demon, man. Rainbow Demon is the fucking shit on this album, man. It's fucking heavy, dark, so fucking, I don't know, it just has this kind of like, to me, it's just got this intensity and evilness of like what metal would kind of become, right? Is it metal? No, they're not metal. I agree, they're not metal. But they're proto in a lot of ways. They're proto definitely hard rock. And they're proto prog rock too, to a degree. And this is their pinnacle, although the album before, Take a Look at Yourself, Shadows of Grief. Oh my fucking God, that song's killer. But I prefer Rainbow Demon as my favorite song. Shadows of Grief off of Take a Look at Yourself, probably my second favorite. Magician's Birthday after this, great album. Frederick, you're late. We already talked about Rainbow. What? All of us talked about Rainbow, right?
Yeah.
We all picked a different album and different song too, which is cool. So there you go, Uriah Heep.
All right. I have one. All right. I'm going Sortilege. And
oh, you bastard.
I only
Nice.
have the English version, so I think it's called Alien on this version. The French version or the French language version is called like The Floors or something like that. But yeah, man, such a banger of a track. This whole record, just a fucking masterpiece of fucking metal. Love this one. Sortilege, Metamorphosis. Man, sick ass record. The EP rules too, but yeah, this is the one I had when I was a kid. I traded the vinyl, unfortunately, But luckily I still have the CD. But yeah, man, banger of a record, great fucking just charging heavy metal, played in the traditional way. Obviously influential to tons of bands, and you know it has a giant spider monster on it. So there you go.
That's a great pick. One I love sortilege. I don't own any sortilege, and frankly, I overlooked that one. That's my favorite sortilege. That album's fucking cool as shit. I know Eric likes sortilege quite a bit, and because he was recommending some cool sortilege stuff to me. That's great. What did you get for that sortilege? Oh, you traded an LP.
Yeah, probably nothing good, honestly. I know
Oh,
it was probably good at the time. It was probably like Celtic Frost or something thrash. I probably got for it at the time. I was trading with a guy in Canada, and he really wanted that LP at the time. And back then, I didn't really care about like heavy metal because I was a thrash dude. So I would just take anything thrash at the time. I mean, not anything, but it was probably like a bonsai press at Celtic Frost.
yeah.
Like anything Canadian press. Like I just wanted all the bonsai presses, Slayer, Celtic Frost, or whatever was on bonsai, which I have a bunch of because that's what I was for some reason in the 90s. I wanted all the bonsai pressings, Bathory, that shit. But,
All right. We talked about it. I'll put them up now. One of, I would think, the proto metal bands. Are they metal? You could make the argument that, they're not very metal. I would argue that they're one of the premier beginners of metal, certainly of like speed sort of metal that came on later towards the 80s with, songs like Highway Star and Speed King and, so I am definitely going Deep Purple. I am definitely going In Rock.
nice.
The track I'm going with, man, Child in Time.
Nice.
But the version I would prefer to listen to is off of Made in Japan, which I think is one of the best live. Is it live? I have no idea. Probably a lot of it's overdubbed, but Made in Japan from Deep Purple 72, I think. Someone that came out?
Yeah.
72 or 74. Can't remember which. Let me see here. Man, just god damn. The screams from Ian Gillan on Child in Time are fucking epic. I remember hearing them from my neighbors outside at my neighbor's house. 72, thank you, Aaron. That's what I thought. I remember hearing that. I can't even try it. But it's way up. I can't get near that note. And he's just screaming at dun 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 dun. Oh my God! It's just Child in Time is one of those epic songs that will always be with me in my soul because it's one of the first songs I heard that was like, and this is 76. I'm hearing this, so about 4 years after it came out, I'm finding out about hard rock and Kiss and Hendrix and all these things, right? But that song, Child in Time, mind fucking blown and just heavy as molten fucking lead. Love that song. Love old Deep Purple. And that's one thing I don't own a lot of. I own Burn, like a reissue, and I owned a lot of stuff on vinyl that I never replaced. I need to find a box set that has all the albums in. And I need, just has everything so that I can get it all and be done with it. So Deep Purple, fucking Child in Time.
Killer. All right, I'm going to go with one. I got a couple more here. I'm going to go with another killer record, which I didn't really hear until probably later because it just didn't really surface too much. I probably heard this in the 90s or maybe early 2000s. I'm going to do Witch Cross.
Witch Cross. Gotta have it, man. Alien Rape.
Alien Savage. That's what it's
Oh,
called.
it is
Alien.
Alien
That's
Savage.
fucking Pile Driver. Night Flight to Tokyo. I love that song.
Face of a Clown is dope
Face of
on
a
that
Clown
one.
is a killer song too. But yeah, this album's a fucking ripper. Love this record. Again, I didn't hear this until like maybe like late 90s, early 2000s, but it came out in 84. But yeah, it's kind of a hard record to get, I think, back then. Now I'm sure they probably have like a million reissues on purple splatter wax. But yeah, man, Night Flight.
I
Tokyo.
doubt it, honestly. I haven't seen that album in forever.
Really? I don't know. But yeah, it just seems like
I saw this CD and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't heard that in fucking forever,
I don't
man.
even know what this is on. Might be a bootleg. I don't know. It doesn't have a barcode. I bought it at a record store though. So, but like I said, I bought this in like early 2000s or something. But yeah, Witch Cross, man. Night Flight in Tokyo for me. But
That's a good choice. The one I would never have thought of. Yeah.
great record.
Yo, let me throw up the Robin Trower.
Oh my God.
Coming out of nowhere with this.
Oh
one.
my God,
I had to pull
love
some records out of my stack for a
fucking
second.
love that album,
I
dude.
fucking love this album, dude. This
Bridge
shit
of
is
Sighs.
dope.
Bridge of
Day of the-
Sighs.
Day of the Eagle,
Day
probably
of the
my
Eagle?
favorite opening track. I mean, fucking killer. This whole album, though, man, like it's such a weird album cover. I doubt anyone would buy it based on the album cover.
Yeah, right.
I had it given to me, and I was like blown away by how fucking good this shit was. Like fucking great album, man.
Robin Trower, man, very underrated guitar player that, like in the shadow of Hendrix to some extent, but
Yeah.
man, I'm talking, man, been alone. And the singer, James Dewar, for this album, man, I think one or two others. I'm not sure of the history on that, but on this album, James Dewar's, my God, man, that fucking been a long time crossing Bridge of Sighs. Bow, down, 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 down. Oh, that riff. Shit. Killer pick, dude.
I fucking love that album, man.
You're right, Aaron. It looks like Rubicon. Looks like the reverse of Rubicon from Tangerine Dream. Yeah.
Nice.
Great pick.
What do you got, Geoff?
In that line of 70s rock that kind of paved the way for for metal. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on this band coming up, big one with my buddy Tom Draper from Spirit Adrift. We've got Craig Beerhorst from the Ruffians. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Dennis? Ruffians?
Yeah.
And also, I think he's in the band The Butlers now. And I'm also checking to pull somebody maybe off the Sea of Tranquility show that I know is a massive, massive Thin Lizzy fan. Let's see if I can get him to join us too. We're doing that Saturday the 29th, I do believe. And one of my absolute favorites, if not my favorite Thin Lizzy track, Black Rose from the album. Man, oh my God. Fucking love this track. There's very little Thin Lizzy I don't love, but this album, this song in particular, just kicks my ass. And yeah, Thin Lizzy deep dive coming up on the 28th or 9th. I mean, Dennis, you can jump in, but I don't know if that's your band so much.
Yeah,
I like Thin Lizzy.
I got a couple Thin Lizzy, but all right. Here's one I'm gonna do that. It's probably gonna be. Guys are gonna hate me for this because it's not a very popular album, but I love this record. I don't give a shit. I'm going Kiss, Animalize. I love this fucking record.
Nice.
But yeah, Into the Fire, man, and Heaven's on Fire. Oh man, that shit, just that fucking transition.
I should have grabbed Destroyer. That's my favorite. I have that album. That's like fucking, I don't know. It's borderline heavy metal though for me. You know what I mean?
What,
it's
Kiss?
like, yeah, it's hard rock.
I think this is a metal record, honestly.
Even Destroyer is on like a heavy metal bit, but like I don't know. It's in between for me.
Well, I mean, you just pulled Robin Trower, so I can.
It's true. Fair enough.
But yeah, man, this is I love this record. I love all the songs on here. This is, again, one of those records I had when I was younger that I would just have like thrash on one side and then Animalize on the other. Lonely as a Hunter's a cool song too. But
That's a good tune, yeah.
Heaven's on Fire with the Into the Fire intro, man, just love that shit. Great fucking album. I just think this was like a really good, it's a commercial album, but it sounds, I don't know, man. It's something about this record that's super catchy. And I guess the songwriting on it's like, it just like the previous Kiss. I get Kiss was transitioning into the 80s with Lick It Up. Well, obviously with Creatures and then Lick It Up and then this record. This for me is like the best out of those three. I like Creatures a lot too. But yeah, man, great fucking song, great record. And I get a lot of people, they're like, that's not Kiss, it's fucking 80s, but I don't give a shit.
You know, for me, as a kid that bought my very first record I bought was Rock and Roll Over. It's, you know, I did not really stay with them in the 80s. I just never went there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I truly understand that. But for me, you know, Kiss was Dressed to Kill, Dynasty, or not Dynasty, what's it called? God damn it, the one with them on the front of it.
Yeah, that's Dynasty.
No.
Destroyer?
Destroyer, thank you. Destroyer.
Yeah, Destroyer is my favorite.
I always get that.
That, honestly.
Love Gun, Rock and Roll Over. Those were the albums that I got into, and then I just quit after that. So, all right, I got a couple. How many you guys got?
I mean, for me, like, if you're gonna like, I have all the old Kiss records, but I'll just rather listen to like a live if I want to listen to Kiss because it has probably the best Kiss songs on it.
Yeah.
So for me, like, if I want to listen to Kiss, I just grab a live. But yeah, I mean, I love all those early. I like Dressed to Kill a lot.
No, not the Elder. No, I've never honestly heard the Elder other than the one main song that came off of that. And I know a little bit of Asylum, like Tears Are Falling, which actually is a cool tune. I know a little bit of Creatures. I know pretty well. But beyond that, I just don't know the albums. I just kind of lost interest in what they were doing. It's not that I don't. And look, man, without Kiss,
they were behind. They were before on the sound, but they were also behind on the sound when they got to like the 80s and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it just sounded like fucking 70s rock and shit like that.
Well, until they brought Vinnie Vincent in '83, and they did. What's it called? Lick It Up. They tried to get more contemporary then. The problem was that Kiss was always a little bit more, and they've written some good songs, man. I mean, just go listen to Rock and Roll Over and listen to I Want You or Baby Driver or fucking what's the song? God damn it. If ever I held you. Hard Luck Woman, man, that's a great tune. I don't care what anybody says. It's a great tune. There's good songs on all around. Mr. Speed, Ladies Room. But it's just that it was their image that kind of like sold them the whole way. So it was more about what they looked like and what they looked like on stage, these personas, than the music a lot of the time, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I got another one. Did a deep dive with these guys with Alan and Marty on heavy metallurgy back in the eons of times. I think it was back around February or something like that. And definitely one of my favorite 90s, 2000s metal bands. And this is absolutely my favorite album by then. And it is Nevermore. Nice. Fucking love Warrell Dane's voice. I think he was one of the original voices out there. Absolutely mind-blowing. I like all their albums. This is by far my favorite. And the title track, Dreaming Neon Black. It's either between that or Beyond Within. But I got to go Dreaming Neon Black. It's so epic. Fucking killer, man. Fucking love this album and love that song, man. You want to hear me sing it? Go watch the Heavy Metallurgy episode. I sing a good bit of it, much to Marty and Alan's shock and awe. They're like, no. Meet me in the dream time Water drown. There you go.
Sanctuary's sick, man. I got that cassette too. Should have grabbed it.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
I'm going with the Montrose.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
more old school, honestly.
Yeah.
It's considered classic rock somewhere in between, but fucking it's pretty heavy. Space Station is the fucking track that I'm gonna
That's
go
a killer track.
I mean, fucking this whole album's sick, man. And I like the other one too, with like the fucking dragon on the cover of it. That one's sick. I mean, fucking Montrose rips, man, and it's a little underrated too. I feel like not a lot of people going out to listen to Montrose, but that album's badass, man.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I love Montrose, man. Killer guitar player. And you know, people rag on Sammy Hagar, and somewhat rightfully so, but most of them haven't achieved half of what he'll ever achieve. He's achieved. You know, most people won't come close to. You know, Sammy probably owns about 15 fucking Maseratis and Porsches and Lamborghinis and owns a fucking what's that not mezcal, what's it called? Tequila, right?
Tequila.
You know, tequila factory that he sold for like, I don't know, $86 million. Dude's done well for himself. And while I'm not a huge fan of the Van Halen stuff that he did, I don't hate it, but I don't like it very much. I still think Sammy's early stuff with Montrose, goddamn good, man.
Crazy
Goddamn
good, man.
Yep. There, now see, Frederick said Sanctuary, what's it say? Sanctuary was better. A declarative statement, not Sanctuary was better to me, just Sanctuary was better. But then he said, but I do love Nevermore. I love them both, man. Can I love them both?
I think Sanctuary was better too, but that's just an opinion, like you said.
Exactly. And I like them both, and I like them about equally, and I own both of them and love them both. And I still think Warrell Dane, one of the most unique fucking vocalists ever in metal, man. Just an amazing vocalist.
Killer record. All those are killer records.
Ah, killer, yeah.
All right, I only got a couple more here, but I'm gonna do Raven.
How many do you have? I'll do the same amount.
I only have 2.
I got like 5.
Well, he's got more. Raven, All for One, and I was really into Raven at this time when this record came out. I had all the EPs, Crash Bang Wallop and stuff, and then this came out. I love the song Hung, Drawn, and Quartered on this record. Killer fucking song. This is a killer record. Honestly.
Yeah, it's a cool album altogether. I love the cover too, like Three Musketeers. Fucking, it's pretty dope. I love that album.
All for One, man, just a great song. Athletic rock. I like athletic rock. Killer song, but yeah, just a killer record. But yeah, Hung, Drawn, and Quartered always was super catchy lyrics. I love the way that song went. Just kind of an earworm for me back then. Just a great fucking record. Raven deserves more credit for sure, man. Just a great fucking heavy metal band. New wave of British heavy metal band, I guess.
Good pick.
I'm going with fucking Rockarola. This one's pretty fucked up, the cover there.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is an old one. But Rockarola, song Rockarola, I mean, this whole album fucking sick. And I love the artwork on this. Like, even as destroyed as it is, it fucking is insanely dope. Like, that artwork is top tier. Fucking Winter and Deep Freeze go right into each other. Like, fucking, I just like how the songs go into each other on this album. Really fucking dope album, man.
You know, that's probably my least favorite Priest album for some reason.
Really? I think I like Point of Entry, maybe Turbo. Turbo's probably
Turbo, Point of Entry, and Rock and Roll are my bottom 3. I actually like Nostradamus over all those.
Really?
Now, Point of Entry, though, has one song on it that I love, Desert Plains. Love that song, man. Love Desert Plains. But, yeah, probably Rock and Roll is down near the bottom. They just don't sound like Priest yet. You know what I mean?
I really fucking love that album. I'm not going to lie.
That's cool.
What you got?
Nobody mentioned this band yet, so I'm going to mention it.
It's too thrash. It's thrash all the way through. You know what I mean?
I guess, but it's still metal, isn't it?
It is. It's heavy metal is kind of a blanket term. I was thinking like more traditional, like heavy metal. You know what I
Dennis
mean?
never told me that. That's why, what we should have done was made a series out of this where we did like 70s metal, hard rock, proto metal, 80s metal, which is glam and all that stuff, 90s, which is more grunge and maybe a little bit of the fucking the new metal stuff, right? Or was that 2000s?
That was like 2000s.
Okay, so then you get into 2000s, more like the new metal, and then the rise of all the the internet stuff, which starts to bring in all kinds of crazy shit. But all right, I'm gonna go this way. I'm still gonna go there. I'm gonna go the title track off of South of Heaven, man. My favorite, most evil sounding track from them. What
is that? South of Heaven? Just the track South of Heaven?
Yeah, fucking love it. Love that.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad track.
And actually, this is my favorite Slayer album. I love Elevates. I like Rain and Blood a lot. I like Seasons. I like Show No Mercy and
Show No Mercy all the way for me.
But this is mine right here. This is mine. I don't know why. It just is the album that I fucking totally dig by them.
Hey, I feel it. That's a great album, man.
I mean, you got
a lot of people throw shade on Rain and Blood, but that's also a fucking great album. I like both of those almost just as much. You know what I mean? Rain and Blood,
yeah, man.
Heaven.
I mean, you got Ghosts of War on here. You got Behind the Crooked Cross, Mandatory Suicide, Silent Scream. The cover Dissonant Aggressor, which I do actually like. Spill the Blood. This is a fucking badass album, man. I love it.
What happened? I left for a minute and we're talking about thrash.
He likes the Dissident Aggressor.
I threw that in because
I like it too, actually, but I think the fucking Judas Priest version of all their songs they do is better.
Well, that means I can't say some of my stuff here. I'm gonna have to. Can't do any death metal now. Jesus Christ! All right. Well, that eliminates quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, you didn't do Running Wild.
Oh, that's what I was about to do. Like this missed my list actually. First song on this album, fucking Victim of State's Power and fucking Black Demon on this. That's like a draw for me almost. Like this album is sick, man. You heard this Running Wild, Geoff?
Oh yeah. Great band.
Shit's
great band. I don't know
dope,
which one's
man.
that one though. Which one's that?
This is the first album, Gates to Purgatory.
Yeah, that's killer, man.
It's on like some black metal shit too.
Yeah.
With like the vocals, like even the lyrics. Like they're total Venom inspired, which is pretty dope for like a band that's like doing like old school heavy metal style. I fucking love this album, man.
Yeah,
forgot to throw that on my list.
I just saw it over there. I was like, all right. I forgot to pull this.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. So I had some thrashy stuff up, and I guess I can't go down that road now, because we'll have to do a thrash top 20 or
that's a thrash episode.
See what we should have done. I don't know if you heard me when I was talking to Damien. I was like, we should have gone 70s proto metal, hard rock proto metal. Yeah. Then we should have done an 80s thing that was all mainly glam and what that kind of turned into in the 80s with Jane's Addiction and, fucking shit. What are they called? God damn it.
Grunge?
Saigon Kick and stuff like that. That kind of, it was metal, but it was kind of weird metal and it didn't really fit in the like heavy metal sort of thing. Then you get in the 90s and you bring in all the, the more the 90s stuff, the grunge and the Panteras and stuff. That would have been a little easier, but I'm all right. I got like 3 or 4 more, then I'll close it out. So I got to go with my boy Frank Marino.
That Glory is dope, man.
Got to go with my boy Frank Marino. Love this fucking guy. One of the greatest guitar players ever. I would call him the shredder of the goddamn 70s. I defy anyone to tell me there was someone faster than him in the 70s. There was guys that were on his level, but not, they weren't faster than him. Frank was just a fucking speed demon and wrote, he's kind of blues based, but he wrote a lot of almost progressive hard rock and somewhat, I wouldn't call it metal, obviously, but it's proto probably. This is the album World Anthem and New World Anthem. It's called World Anthem, but there's a song on it called New World Anthem. And on this song, on this album, the lead-off track, Requiem for a Sinner, man. God damn. Do you know that one, Dennis?
Yeah.
Requiem for a Sinner, man. Dark, heavy, evil, man. Beautiful, beautiful song. Not evil, but almost like evil, like mysterious. A lot of tracks by Frank are fucking burners. This is the one that I love the most. Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush.
Nice.
Hendrix, that's not heavy metal, man. That's classic rock. Hendrix rules,
man.
I'm not dissing on Hendrix, but
I've been showing a lot of classic rock in this stuff here, so
I'll show this one. I want to do that.
All right, we're going Headhunter.
Oh yeah,
Headhunter, fucking Headhunter. The song for me.
Yeah,
that fucking song. For me,
it's
sick.
Screaming in the Night.
Is Screaming in the Night on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's my song, man.
This fucking album, badass. Crocus, gotta go. I mean, the fucking, even them on the back look sick. They all got skull faces and shit.
Yeah, it's a great record, man. Not underrated for sure.
Like, that's like a have to grab just seeing it, looking at it at the record store. But fucking badass album, man. Gotta go with this one. Headhunter, fucking first track off the album.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, that's a great track, great album, man.
Such a killer, like, epic. Fucking. All right. You got anything else, Geoff?
No, but I gotta sing a few lines of that song, right? Sons of vengeance, can you rescue me? They got me tied up to an old oak tree, screaming in the night. I can't go out. Screaming in the night, they die for you. God, what a fucking killer song! Like I said, I saw them open up for Def Leppard back in '83. Man, they were great. Gary Moore opens the show with "End of the World." You know
Gary
that song,
Moore
Dennis?
is pretty dope, man. Got to give Gary Moore a little bit of props.
Oh my
Not
God, Gary
props,
Moore, man.
but a little bit.
Well, he played on Black Rose. Or wait, is he on Black Rose? He might not be on Black Rose. I forget. Gary Moore was in Thin Lizzy, Grand Slam, Coliseum, solo. Man, Gary Moore, just a fucking beast of a guitar player. We lost him a couple years ago. I want to say 17, maybe something like that. All right, so this band is often talked about as being one of the earliest heavy metal bands, and they were talked about like by their manager, kind of started this sort of talk of heavy metal. And I think Alan's done a little bit of a thing on this, and I've talked about it before. We've talked on streams before about the origins of heavy metal. A lot of it seems to go back to Edgar Rice Burroughs and the Naked Lunch stuff and him talking about the heavy metal kids. But anyway, this band was branded heavy metal by their manager. I know the metal theologian knows this band. I contend they are heavy metal to an extent.
I knew Blue Oyster Cult was going to come up.
Blue Oyster Cult, man.
I knew it was at some point.
Secret Treaties and the song off Secret Treaties. Dennis, what song am I going to pick?
Oh, shit. Give me a list.
Well, you want a list of songs?
Yeah. Then I'll tell you.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Opens with Career of Evil.
I'll do Career of Evil.
What about Subhuman?
Subhuman's cool, but Career of Evil, that's my jam on that record.
Maze of Torment, I'd have to agree. They are hard rock, but I'll let Geoff have his pick.
That's right. Get out of here, Devin. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, Dominance and Submission? Nope. ME262? Nope. KG Creedence? Nope. Harvester of Eyes? Nope. Flaming Telepath? Nope. There's one left. What is it?
I thought you said Subhuman.
No. That your dad did. I didn't say that.
What is it?
Astronomy, man.
Oh shit, nice.
Greatest fucking Blue Oyster Cult song ever, man.
Well, I don't know about
I like
that.
Nosferatu a lot.
Yeah,
That's probably my
Nosferatu.
favorite Blue Oyster Cult song.
I fucking love Astronomy. It is my favorite song by far. Let's see, what else do I have? You got any more, Damien?
I got one more. I got the
All right.
Flotsam and Jetsam, No Place for Disgrace.
That's thrash, dude.
It is. It's kind of thrashy, but it's also on some heavy metal type shit. I wouldn't put it in my top fucking 20 thrash albums, so I have to put it in my top 20 fucking heavy metal somewhere. It's not even 20. It's like 30. But fucking first song, No Place for Disgrace. Fucking album is sick. Song is sick. It's definitely got higher pitched vocals than most thrash that you're used to, so you probably won't think of it as a thrash album if you hear this shit. They're dope. I like the other album too. Fucking I forget what the other album's called. It's fucking got the demon guy crushing the other guy's head through the floor. Fucking dope.
Doomsday for the Deceiver.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Doomsday
I gotta
for
say though, the coolest pull tonight so far is that Bridge of Sighs pull. I'm just being honest. That's fucking killer.
The what?
Damien's pull of Bridge of Sighs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Robin
That
Trower.
Fucking rules, man. All right. I'll go
I
with
got
two.
one more. I got
I
one.
two. I
I
got two.
almost pulled that too. I mean, you
We
kind of
didn't-
have to. You
I don't
kind
know
of have to.
How this didn't get pulled yet, but
You're doubling up, dude.
that's okay.
That's the thing. Like we tripled up on Judas Priest, but that's all right, honestly.
No,
Might have to
he
pull out
don't.
that other Maiden
No, what I
album,
meant
too.
is he double pulled on a band tonight. We didn't do that. He did.
This is yeah, but this is honorable mention. It doesn't.
All right, okay. It's
But you have,
allowable.
you have to go Hellion Electric Eye if you're gonna like even have a list. So, and it's not my favorite Judas Priest song, obviously,
A
but
great album altogether, honestly.
yeah, man, just a
Oh,
fucking
fuck
banger.
yeah, man. But I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm gonna pick a different song off that, man.
A Bloodstone is sick.
I'm picking Bloodstone. I'm
That's
picking
a killer song.
actually Bloodstone or Devil's Child. I believe
I was gonna say Devil's Child, Bloodstone, and Devil's Child.
Fuck yeah, man. Fucking killer. Killer.
Yep.
God damn. Fever's even a killer track. I forgot about that one. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, I got two last
All right.
last ones. They're gonna be proto rock. They're gonna be proto. I'm telling you right now, this song is fucking heavy metal if you go listen to it. It's very heavy metal.
You have to pull out Power
It's
Tool.
off of Queen
Yeah.
2. Queen
Something
2,
like
1974, I think. I'll have to look it up. 74. The song is the first song on the second side of the album. It is called Ogre Battle. You don't know this song? Do you know this song, guys?
I don't think so.
What's the band?
Queen.
Queen.
Oh, it's Queen. No, I don't
Queen.
think I've ever heard that song by
Queen
Queen,
too.
actually.
We gotta listen to Ogre Battle. It's fucking
Ogre Battle.
killer.
Sounds
Ogre
awesome.
Battle.
I love the name.
It's heavy as fuck. I'm telling you right now. It's a proto metal song, and you will agree when you listen to it. All right. Proto metal, proto hard rock, whatever you want to call them. Huge in the 70s. You can't deny them. One of the biggest bands ever. We lost the main dude last year, I think. 2 years ago, maybe now it is. I don't know. But I got to go Van Halen, man. I got to pull a Van Halen track, and I got to pull one off. Van Halen 2. What's that?
I should have grabbed the record for you.
It's all right. I really struggled between this and the first record because while I like Fair Warning the most overall, I feel like the best tracks are on 1 and 2. 1 is pretty much a perfect album. 2's pretty damn good, but it has one.
I like 2 a little bit more, but I think it's just personal preference, you know?
Exactly. So
It's all about Fair Warning, man.
I love Fair Warning, man. Love it to death. But there's one song on here that fucking rules. You want to have any guess?
What you got?
Light up the sky.
Okay, that's a dope song.
Light up the sky. Oh my god, I love that fucking track. and I really like it all. DOA. I mean, the first Van Halen album, and what's the third one with the Cradle Will Rock on? What's it called? Women and Children First.
Yeah.
Fools. Oh my God, there's so many fucking killer tracks on that album. You take me off. Atomic Punk, killer track. House of Pain, that's a killer track. I mean, look, man, say what you will about Dave. He's a goofball. Can't sing live to save his life, pretty much. He's a showman, but he kind of drove that train with that band quite well. And those first 4 or 5 albums, man, I mean, Diver Down's that's kind of a wimp out commercial
I
thing.
kind of like Diver Down. I'm not gonna lie.
It's got some good songs on it, but it's like 29 minutes long, man.
Yeah, it's short for sure.
And it's got what, 2 covers on it? Big Bad Bill and fucking Intruder, or not Intruder, Pretty Woman.
Yeah, Pretty Woman.
They were pretty bad with that, man. But I mean, that's one of those things that it's hard, man. That first Van Halen album is so goddamn classic, and I don't know. Like Dennis, how old were you in 1978?
Shit, I don't know.
Well, were you born?
4.
74. So you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna remember it. I remember hearing Van Halen the very first time I heard Van Halen. I was riding my bike past my buddy down the street. My parents had a friend that was a hang glider, so he had his hang glider out and he was cleaning it, and he had the garage door up. And I'm in my Kiss phase now. This is 1978, like I said. We're living in Houston, Texas, and I go driving by and hear this, this thing, whatever, and then I hear dan, and I drive over to my guy's name was Dale. I'm like, Dale, what the hell is that, man? He's like, you never heard that, man? Like, and this guy's like in his mid-20s, late 20s, right? He's like, dude, that's fucking Van. He doesn't say fuck. He's like, dude, that's Van Halen. I'm like, Van what? I'm like, who the hell is that? And I did not believe at all that was a fucking guitar. I'm listening to Aerosmith, Rocks, Toys in the Attic, fucking Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun is right around that time too. And man, am I talking about what? Buddy Holly. I think Aaron's trying to be a smartass. Am I older than you? I think I'm older than you. I think I am. I don't remember Buddy Holly dying though. No, I'm sorry, I don't remember that.
Pantera, come on, man. Pantera rules. Metal Magic all day. That should have been on the list somewhere as an
Could have been. Yeah. But yeah, so I have a bunch more on here, but I realized they're death metal, thrash. I mean, I don't know, typo. Are they metal? They're metal.
I got one more. That's a big one.
All right, one more.
Good.
Let's do.
Let's go.
He's double dipping. He's double dipping.
I'm double dipping. I don't care if I'm double dipping. This is going to be one of the all-time greats. You know what I mean. Everybody loves Iron Maiden. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Fucking, I'm going to go with fucking, what's the fucking, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is the song I'm going to go off this one. But The Duelist is really good too, honestly.
You're going rhyme because it's kind of like Halloween.
Too. Like, there's some crazy songs on this album. This is probably my favorite Maiden album, but my favorite song is on another album. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I had to show this one. The fucking classic.
Well, then I'll show this last one then, because I think it fits. Right. And it's going to be typo negative, and it's going to be World Coming Down, which is fucking balls heavy, dark, evil. You guys know this one? Do you know this one, Dennis?
I know Typo Negative, but I don't know that album, actually.
Dude, this album fucking rules. It's to me.
I think I saw them on that tour, actually.
Well, this would have been the one when they were out with Pantera, I believe. Oh, no, wait. Nah, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't then. This album, man, is so dark. It's when Pete was really struggling with cocaine and was not very well. Not that he ever was. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But this fucking rules, dude. This fucking rules. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot we could have done with this. Maybe, Dennis, maybe next time we do something, we make it like a top 15 in a specific genre.
This was supposed to be just heavy metal. It wasn't supposed to be thrash or death or doom. That's what it was. Just straight up heavy metal, like what you consider heavy metal.
And that's the trouble, though, because you and I, we come from the same era, and we're kind of looking at it as traditional. But there's bands like Sabbath and stuff that aren't really there, but they created it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's up to the person doing it. So that's why it's good to have these things, because you can say, hey, this is what I think is metal. So, and I think Black Sabbath is metal. I mean,
totally.
Yeah.
So
I think there's one more I'm going to add. I'm going to add one more because this was, to me, a pretty important band in the early the early 90s, I would say. And this album in particular is my favorite album of theirs, and it has my favorite tracks on it. I do not really listen to this band anymore. I grew weary of the repetition of what they've been doing for the last 5 albums or more. I still think they're insanely good musicians, but I'm just not as into their music anymore. But I got to go with Dream Theater. I got to go with 94's Awake. I think it's their heaviest, most intense album. You know, a lot of people probably go Scenes from a Memory, or maybe they'd go Images and Words with, Pull Me Under or something, which has a lot of great tracks on. But the song on here I fucking love is Voices, man. Voices, Erotomania, Space Divest, Awake, or not Awake, 6 a.m., Caught in a Web. Man, it's just a good fucking album. But Voices would be the song that I would go with, or Scarred, one of those two. So Dream Theater. I think that's everything, because all the others are.
This guy mentioned Saxon, Power and Glory. Definitely honorable mention.
What's the track off that? Princess of the Night?
Princess of the Night is fucking dope. That's a dope track. But I like Power and Glory, just like the track Power and Glory off Power and Glory.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember Princess of the Night. What album was that on?
That was like one of their earliest.
Yeah, Denim and Leather, man. I fucking love that. Yeah, Saxon's another one we kind of overlooked. And, man, it's just too many bands, too much. We could have done this. We're coming up on 4 hours. We probably could have gone like 8 hours if we.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if we went top fucking 50 for all of us,
I mean, if we
did
top metal
for days.
I mean, you could pull like fucking 80 albums. So next one we're gonna try to do top thrash songs. So
I'm in on that, man. That makes it a lot easier, because you're looking at the Bay Area stuff, maybe the South American stuff, the European stuff. A lot to choose from there, but it's a little less nebulous as to who is what. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I think, for sure. Next one, thrash. I don't know. Damien wants to do a death metal one, so we'll see what's up. But great having you, Geoff. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We're gonna do more for sure. Thanks for watching, and appreciate everyone.
Let me pimp my channel real quick. Couple things upcoming.
What do you got going on, Geoff?
Yeah, a couple things upcoming. So Sunday afternoon, or evening rather, I should say, this Sunday evening, with Eric Berg, the young Canuck. I haven't seen him in a while. He's had a lot going on. I think you met him, right, Dennis?
Yeah, Kronos.
Eric, yeah. So Eric's going to come on with me. We are going to wrap up David Bowie. We're going to finish the third part of David Bowie. So it's like 9 albums and 2 or 3 EPs. So you can figure a 3.5 hour episode somewhere there probably. I will be having Paul Masvidal and Kelly Schaefer on for an interview. Kind of a post Cynic Atheist Tour wrap up. I'm hoping to get them on someday next week, or maybe late this week, but I got to check with their schedules. I need to give them at least a week to be home and get back to their lives right after the tour. I am going to have on the 29th. Is that right? 29th? I think it's right. Let me just double check my calendar so I don't tell people the wrong day. Yeah, 29th, Saturday. Tom Draper, Craig Beerhorst, and maybe one other special guest will be coming on to do the entire Thin Lizzy catalog. Dennis has an invite. It's up to him whether he might be working. So if he's not working, you can join us if you'd like. I think we have everybody between all of us. We have all the albums, even the early Mach 1 stuff. I'm also trying to get my daughter to commit to doing a talk deep dive. That's in the offing. Hawkwind's coming, and Jethro Tull, a huge Jethro Tull thing we're going to do somewhere. Also a big Anathema thing that I'm putting the people together for Anathema. As far as interviews, I've got feelers out for a bunch of people, but I don't have anything concrete. I've kind of let that slide a little bit with the stuff that was going on. So, yeah, man. Dennis, I love hanging out with you, bro.
Yeah,
always a great time with you, man.
For sure.
By the way, over my shoulder this way. There it is. So I got Crimson Glory and Rainbow.
Rainbow.
And over my bed up there,
Judas
Fate's
Priest.
Warning, Awaken the Guardian. Like, what chick in the world wouldn't want to come hang out with me? What, you're 56 and you have, like, seriously... no, we're only doing the first 10 albums. We're only doing the 70s to the 80s, the 70 to 80s, yeah. And we're going to talk about the Space Ritual, but we're not doing the whole catalog. No fucking way. If we did, we'd have to do it over like many episodes, and a lot of those albums start to sound the same to me. So, yeah, man. Thanks to Aaron and Michael Skidmore and Frederick and Devin. Well, Devin, fuck you. Just kidding, Devin. I love you, man. Who else was in there?
Bunch of people.
Yeah, we had somewhere along the line. I saw Logan was in there for a little bit.
Yeah, Logan was there. Marty was in there.
Got a dude
Marty
from
popped by. Phil. We had Phil.
Yeah, Phil was there.
I don't know this guy. Do you know? It must be one of your dudes. That E something.
Not sure.
Because I don't recognize him anywhere. But
yeah,
man.
Great turnout. So appreciate everybody. Like I said, we're going to do more. So definitely fucking come check it out. I'm sure I'll be on some other streams too. So I know I don't have a lot on my channel, but I do a lot of streams. So
you do a lot of guest appearances, man, on my channel in particular. But
yeah,
like I said, you're welcome to the Thin Lizzy. That's something you'll have to decide and let me know on, and I'll adjust the artwork. But that'll be a lot of fun if we get a 4 or 5 of us in there. Like we got 3.
Yeah, if I'm not at work, I'll definitely join in, man.
Yeah, check your schedule on that. And 12 albums. I mean, you got almost 10 days, so it's an album a day at most. That kind of thing. So, Damien, cool hanging out with you, dude. Oh
yeah, man.
I like you brought some heat, man. You brought some cool stuff that both your dad and I didn't even think about, which is cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
again,
for sure, man.
Bridge of Sighs.
that was last second too. I'm like, all right, I gotta bring another album.
I mean, it's not metal at all, but it's fucking badass, right? It's badass.
Had to come through with something.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys, take care. See you soon.